This is the South Atlantic Conference Baseball Tournament Championship. 8 teams. Five days. One champion. From Smokies Stadium in Tennessee, this is the SAC Baseball Tournament.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to Smokies Stadium on day 2 of the 2022 South Atlantic Conference Baseball Championships. A triple header on the way here today, and a dandy to start this one off. It's the number 1 ranked team in the country, the reigning national champions, the reigning tournament champions in this conference. Wingate getting ready to take on Carson-Newman after the Eagles won an emotional one late last night. 2-1 over Lincoln Memorial. The Eagles threw out the tying run at the plate in the bottom of the 9th inning before outlasting the Splitters to win that ball game by a run. The Eagles will trot out the exact same starting lineup in this one. Jackson, Genter, Daughtry top third. Travis, Carpenter, Bose in the middle third. Parkinson, Griffin, Ricketts rounded out for Carson-Newman, and they'll have a tough task here today going against the conference's pitcher of the year in Brody McCullough. McCullough, just a dominating season overall this year. Fantastic year. 8-1 in his 9 starts. He struck out 94 batters in 49 innings of work. He did not pitch against Carson-Newman when these teams squared off in Jefferson City earlier this year. That was to open the South Atlantic Conference slate. But the Bulldogs had no issues taking care of Carson-Newman in that 3-game series, needing extra innings to win one of the 3. Otherwise, they pretty much led the duration of that 3-game set. Last year, this was the exact matchup that we got in the conference tournament. Carson-Newman and Wingate. It was Brody McCullough against Matt Coles, and that's the exact matchup that we get here today. Carson-Newman came out on top of that one, winning 5-4, and Wingate needed a walk-off winner against Catawba to keep its season alive. Otherwise, perhaps they might not have even made it to the national tournament at that point. who knows what would have happened, but it was part of that string where Wingate won a boatload of elimination games to win the national title. So here we go on this Friday morning. Getting started here a little bit behind schedule. McCullough, the big right-hander out there on the bump. He's ready to roll here against Henry Jackson, and the first pitch of the ball game is on the inside corner with a fastball for strike one. We are underway here, a few minutes late, at 11:11 in the morning. McCullough works out of the full windup here against Carson-Newman's top of the order as he pitches, and it's a swing and a miss on a pitch down and away to Jackson. Jackson 3 of 12 against Wingate earlier this season. Game time temperature is 67 degrees, cloudy skies overhead, and very little wind, 2 to 4 miles per hour. McCullough's 0-2. Jackson stings it straight back foul to keep the count at 2 strikes and nothing. Well, McCullough was an all-tournament team pick last year in the national tournament. He's had just 2 wonderful seasons for this Wingate club, and he gets the nod here in game number 1 of this postseason. The 0-2. Check swing, foul ball, straight back by Jackson. Well, last night, Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial, we saw a great pitchers matchup, both pitchers facing the minimum through 4 innings before Carson-Newman got on the board in the 5th. McCullough always tough to hit as the right-hander has the sign, has yet to throw one out of the zone. 5th pitch of the sequence. Misses away on a slider. A ball and 2 strikes. McCullough coming off of a season-high 115 pitches in a win over Mars Hill last week. The 1-2 on the inside corner at the knees for strike 3 called, and a good pitch by McCullough to get this thing started. Defensively behind McCullough for this one, he's got a couple all-defensive team picks in his defense. Motzinger, Guy, Clark left to right. Williams, Rem at third. Dansky at short. King at second. Ferris, the all-D pick at first, and McNeely, likewise, one of the top defenders in the conference behind the plate. 1 out, nobody on. Here's Micah Genter. Had a 12-game hitting streak snap last night. And he swings at the first pitch, loses his bat, rolls it over towards first. Ferris picks it up, underhands it to a covering McCullough. Really good work by that infield to handle that play. The putout works 3-1 of Genter at first base. The bat went all the way over towards the first base coach's box where Brendan Kroeb resides. McCullough nearly fielded it. Instead, he decided to let Ferris take it, cover the bag, and that's really good defensive work by one of the better defensive teams in the land. So with 2 outs and nobody on, here is Killian Daughtry. No score here in the top of the first inning. McCullough into his motion. He pitches and zips a fastball in there at the knees for strike 1. McCullough in that outing against Mars Hill, 6 innings, 13 punch-outs. Gave up 2 runs on 4 base hits. Walks have really been the only issue for McCullough this year. He's walked at least 3 in 5 of his 9 starts. The 0-1. This is high and tight. A ball and a strike. But he's also fanned at least 10, 5 times, including 17 in 6 1/3 innings against Y. So you do the math. 17 of the 19 batters he retired were strikeouts. The 1-1. Daughtry spikes it into the turf. Rolling third base side. Williams Rem picks on the infield grass. Throws on the run to first to get Daughtry and end the inning. Half inning in the books. 1-2-3 from McCullough. Here comes Wingate to the plate with a couple all-conference picks in the bottom of the first inning here on the SAC Digital Network.
You've got to see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You've got to see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You got to see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You've gotta see this place.
You got to see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You gotta see this place.
Brody McCullough fires a 1-2-3 top of the first, and now it's Matt Coles' turn for Carson-Newman getting the baseball from Coach Tom Griffin. Coles has thrown just 3 2/3 innings since the beginning of April, and he'll deal with a lineup that features 5 all-conference hitters, including the first-teamer Andrew Motzinger at the top. Dansky and McNeely also due up this inning. The heart of the order is Ferris, Bryant, and Clark. King, Williams, Rem, and Guy round out the starting 9 for the top-ranked Bulldogs against Coles this season. He started the year excellent. Was great right at the outset of the season. Had a couple quality starts in his first 4 outings. 6+ innings, no earned runs in both of those. Then hit a little bit of a speed bump in the middle of the season. Eagles have used him more in the middle relief role of late. Motzinger will lead it off. He was 7 for 11 against the Eagles in the first series this year, and Cole starts him with a fastball that drifts up and away for ball 1. Motzinger overall this year hitting .386, 4 homers, 35 driven in, 1-0. Bounced towards third. Bose will pick it up even with third base bag, throw it to first base. It's low, but Daughtry makes the stretch and gets Motzinger. Defensively behind Coles for this one, Ricketts, Griffin, Jackson left to right in the outfield. Bose, Genter, Carpenter, Daughtry third to first, and Parkinson behind the plate. Second straight year last night that Carson-Newman threw out a massive run at the plate, and it came from Potts, Genter, and Parkinson. Dansky at the plate. He was 0 for 10 against the Eagles earlier this year. The left-hand hitter looks at a high breaking ball from Coles for ball 1. Bose is pulled in at the cutout of the grass at third. Otherwise, the infield is shuffled around to the right-hand side. 1-0 from Coles. Hit high in the air off of first base. Long run here for a trio of infielders. Daughtry is into the bullpen area, and he makes the catch, the first baseman. Really difficult play there. For any first baseman, you have to go all the way back. He covered a ton of ground right between home plate and the mound down in the bullpen to make that catch and retire Dansky. Excellent play by Daughtry, who threw his John Olerud helmet to the turf to make the catch. 2 outs, nobody on. Logan McNeely gets his turn. The reigning national tournament MVP takes a look at strike 1 at the knees. McNeely great against Carson-Newman this season. He drove in 9 runs in that 3-game series. That was more runs than Carson-Newman scored the whole series. 0-1. High and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. McNeely, a first-team all-conference pick, as you might expect, for a .341 hitter. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Coles. Hits the outside corner to get ahead at 1-2. Eagles shuffle him around to the left-hand side. Ricketts playing deep a couple steps in front of the warning track and left. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on, no score in the first. Here's the offering. And it's strike 3 called. A great slider from Coles on the inside corner. Freezes McNeely. And a 1-2-3 inning for the Carson-Newman left-hander. Good pitching in the first. We go to the second inning. McCullough back to work when we come back to Smoky Stadium.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Fine pitching to start off this ball game. Game one of this triple header. We're into the double elimination portion of this tournament. Catawba winning last night in extra innings, 7-6. They'll get Newberry at 245 today. Carson-Newman a 2-1 thrilling win over LMU. Our nightcap this evening is third-seeded Queens and fourth-seeded LR at 6:30. McCullough threw 10 pitches in the first, and he faces off against the hot-hitting Harrison Travis, who was aboard 3 times last night for the Eagles. McCullough into his motion, and the first pitch of the second inning is a swing and a miss. Travis seeking a fastball early and waves over the top. Travis, like McCullough, did not appear in that opening series between these clubs. As McCullough gets the sign, and here comes the 0-1. Nearly hits Travis. He was plunked twice last night by LMU pitching. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Travis hitting .307 on the year, 8 homers, 41 RBIs, almost all of that coming in the final 30 games of the year. The 1-1 pitch from McCullough. Travis swings and misses. We don't have a radar gun active here, but McCullough zipping it in there here early in this one. And Wingate's pitching staff anchored this team to a national title last year. They got some great pitchers. The 1-2 pitch misses low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you look at the all-conference teams. McCullough, first-teamer. Broderson, the reliever, also on the first team. And then 3 others also gained top billing. The break-even pitch from McCullough. Misses again, down and outside. And that runs the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, last year against Carson-Newman, McCullough retired the first 6 batters that he saw, and then gave up 4 runs in the 3rd inning. As his payoff pitch comes to Travis, and he swings and hits a high pop-up, shallow right field. Clark is under it, and he makes the grab in right. Good sequence there between those two, but eventually won by McCullough, and he's retired the first 4 that he's seen. And with 1 out, nobody on in the 2nd inning, with no score so far, Andrew Carpenter will get his turn. Carson-Newman hit .169 as a team when these teams met up in February. Carpenter had just 1 hit. Right-hander McCullough pitches, and Carpenter swings and fouls it off the first base side. Overall, it was a fairly well-pitched series when you look at the numbers. Carson-Newman hit .169. Wingate hit .262. That's pretty respectable for Carson-Newman, particularly at its home park where it struggled. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball down and away. Carpenter waves over the top. Wingate pitching, though, 28 strikeouts, 27 innings. And they only walked 4 batters. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Again, missing outside and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's what McCullough has done against this right-handed hitting heavy Carson-Newman team. Work outside once he gets ahead. He's ready with a 1-2 pitch. This time he comes down and in, and Carpenter fouls it off of the ground to stay alive at a ball and 2 strikes. Carson-Newman had 1 chance in that series. That was in the extra inning ball game. The Eagles came up just short in to win it. The 1-2 on the inside corner. This time, instead of going outside, he comes inside for his second punch out. That's a dandy of a pitch by McCullough. Fastball, inner half, and gets the call about thigh high on Carpenter. So with 2 outs and nobody on, here comes Zach Bose. Bose hitting .258 on the season, the team lead with 10 home runs on the year. McCullough works out of the windup with no score in the 2nd. In his first pitch, Bose slashes it foul off of first base. It was a tough end of the season for Zach Bose. He hit .167 in April. Despite that, he only struck out twice in 60-plus at-bats, so he was putting the ball in play, just very unlucky. 0-1. Swing and a foul tip. Loved by McNeely for strike 2. Let's see if Bose can flip the script here. and find some offense for Carson-Newman what has turned out to be a good pitching matchup. One strike pitch coming from McCullough. Right-hander into his motion. He turns it loose. Bose rolls it back up the middle. Slaloms off of the mound. The shortstop Dansky picks it up in front of the second base bag and throws out Bose to end the inning. So another 1-2-3 frame from McCullough. We're scoreless through an inning and a half here in the SAC Baseball Championship.
Not everybody's going to pick Catawba, but Catawba can be a place for anybody. You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here, and it can be whatever you make it.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be,
if you aspire to inspire the world around you and others,
if you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here.
Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
Excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenoir-Rhyne University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
Bottom of the second inning we go here at Smoky Stadium in the SAC Baseball Championships. Mitch Ferris to lead off for the top-ranked Bulldogs. Third-team all-conference pick at 9 home runs this season. Team leader in the area. Cole starts him with a slow bender that misses high and tight for ball one. Well, no base runners so far for either side. Carson-Newman with the shift on with a left-handed hitter in the box. Genter playing close to up the middle, the 0-1. Ferris rolls it right into the shift. Carpenter, the second baseman on the outfield grass, plucks it, steps onto the dirt, and throws out Ferris at first base. 4 up, 4 down for Coles as he tries to duel against the conference's pitcher of the year. And now here comes Jed Bryant, .291 hitter this season, 4 for 9 against the Eagles earlier this season. And he has had some big games here in this ballpark. Some clutch hits over the years for Wingate. First pitch from Coles. Misses in the dirt for ball one. Brian, a former all-conference pick, awaits the right-hand hitter. The 1-0, rather, is a good sweeping breaking ball in the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Here's the pitch. That misses down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Brian hit a 2-run home run that sealed the deal in a 13-4 win against Newberry in last year's title game. The 2-1 pitch. Misses down and inside. 3 balls and a strike. As I mentioned, Coles has not pitched a whole lot of late for Carson-Newman. He was one of their top starters and overall pitchers at the beginning of the season as he pitches. And he misses down and in here, and that's the first base runner of the game for either side on a 5-pitch walk to Jed Bryant. Coles has thrown 7 2/3 innings in the last calendar month. He's pitched in just 3 games for Carson-Newman since March 26th. He pitched at Young Harris on April 20th, gave up 3 earned runs on 5 hits over 2 innings. That was the last time that he was out there. So here's Ricky Clark with a runner at first base. Coles will pick over to first. Nearly threw it away. Good play by Daughtry to lean to his right and make the grab. Bryant has not stolen a base this year, nor has he attempted one all season. No score in the bottom of the second. The first pitch to Clark is high and away on a fastball for ball one. Another left-handed hitter in this lineup. Ricky Clark, 2 hits against Carson-Newman in the opening series this year. Coles looking to find the strike zone. 1-0 pitch. Good, slow breaking ball. Checks in at the knees for a called strike. Left-hand pitcher. Peering down the barrel at the side. Checks over at first base. And time called. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cole starting to find the zone after he issues the 1-out walk to Bryant. It's great to have you with us for this one. Stick with us all day and all weekend for great baseball throughout this tournament. Coles pauses. The 1-2. Misses down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, Wingate does so well as they come at you 1 through 9 in this lineup. And they have just great versatility. They have some guys that can leave the yard. Some great speed as well. 3 different players stole 10-plus bases. Here's the 2-2. Clark stays back on this breaking ball and flips it foul into the netting. Count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wingate led the conference in scoring this year, 9 runs per ball game this season. Break-even pitch. Clark spoils another one, fouling it down the third base line out of play to keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a team that really does everything well. They drew 264 walks this season. That's the second most in the country. Entering this weekend, another break-even from Coles. Doesn't get Clark to chase after it. He leaned out over the plate, but it ended up well low and outside. And that runs the string out here on Clark at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Coles working from the stretch. Bryant leads from first. No score in the second. The pitch. Misses. No, it's on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. A late ring up from Bobby Dunnigan. And it's the second punch out for Coles and a big one as well. Clark had thrown the bat and it took 2 steps towards first, and Bobby Dunnigan, the home plate umpire, froze for a second before he decided to step back and ring him up. A huge second out. So here comes the first team all-conference second baseman, Seaver King. Reigning freshman of the year in the league. Watches a fastball miss up and away for ball 1. King overall hitting .378 this season. Terrific start to his career for the Bulldogs. 1 ball and no strikes. Coles checks first and pitches, and King hits it right back up the middle, through the middle of the infield, into center field for a base hit. Bryant will stop at second base. It's the first hit of the ball game for either side. Wingate in business with 2 outs with men at first and second base. And the third baseman, Isaiah Williams-Rem, a second-team all-conference pick, gets his turn. Another left-hand hitter. He only played in 1 of the 3 games against Carson-Newman earlier this season, went 1 of 4. So let's see if Coles, who's been great against left-hand hitters all season long, can buckle down here with 2 men on, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning. We're scoreless here in the SAC tournament. Coles works out of the stretch with 2 on as he pitches, and a slow breaking ball is on the inside corner for strike 1. Well, Coles is the exact definition of a pitcher that likes to work backwards. Breaking balls early. Every now and then he'll throw in a fastball. Here's one to Rem. He slides it through the right side of the infield for a base hit. Rounding third and hustling to the plate as the throw comes in late. Bryant slides in safely. Wingate gets on the board first as Williams Rem delivers, and the Bulldogs lead it 1-0 in the second. A good piece of hitting by Williams Rem. He got a pitch out over the plate that caught a lot of the dish, and he rolled it through the right side of the infield with Daughtry holding on the runner. That left a pretty big hole there. And back-to-back two-out hits, and the Bulldogs have taken a 1-0 advantage. So here comes Justin Guy. 2 of 11 against the Eagles earlier this season, but a nice bat, 32 RBIs in the 9 slot of the lineup. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Coles stretches. Now he'll throw a toss over to first base. Williams Rem this year was very good at stealing sacks. 14 stolen bases in 16 attempts. Coles now pitches, and Guy takes a breaking ball off the outer half for ball 1. Well, if you're Carson-Newman right here, you have to limit this damage. Cannot give up anything more than just this run against a Wingate team that is 42-6 this year, the best winning percentage in the country. Right-hander hitter waits, and the pitch is a swing and a foul ball off of first base, out of play. It was a great crowd here last night watching this ball game. A little lighter today, but Wingate always travels really well, and they have a good contingency third base side with Carson-Newman's fans here as well, a 20-minute drive from campus. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Misses way up and away. Off-speed pitch from Coles. 2-1. Well, last year in the conference tournament, it was Wingate that needed to make a comeback against Carson-Newman and fell 5-4 in the first of 2 meetings in the championships. Here comes the 2-1, and it's on hold as a throw over to first base. Again, checks on Williams Rem. Early pressure here by the Bulldogs. Colesard retired 4 in a row before walking Bryan on 5 pitches. They got a strikeout of Clark, and the bases had just a man at first base and 2 outs as he pitches. And a good breaking ball is in at the belt for a strike, 2-2. And King slid a single into center field. And Williams Rem pushed one through the right side of the infield. 2 men on, 2 outs. 1-0 Bulldogs, bottom of the second. 2-2 the count. Coles kicks the leg, and he'll throw to first base again, and that one gets away. Daughtry has it slide off of his glove. This one rolls into the bullpen. A run scores, and Williams Rem is all the way over to third base. So that'll be an error on Coles. And that gifts a run on the failed pickoff attempt. Well, Mars Hill knows about that. They gave up the game-winning run on an errant pickoff throw in the 10th inning last night. So now at the count at 2-2, Coles pitches, and Guy pops it up. Out in front of the plate, Parkinson calls. He chucks the helmet and makes the catch out in front of the plate, but it's a batter. Check that, a pitch too late to end the inning. Wingate gets 2, and the top-ranked Bulldogs have a 2-0 lead after 2. Eagles looking for their first base runner of the day when we come back to Smoky Stadium.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
As soon as you win the state championship, you start getting calls and emails and brochures sent to you from all these ring companies. We'd already talked for a long time that the first one we got here at BA, it was going to be the biggest thing we could find. Right? It was going to be the biggest ring we could get. You know, we wanted to make this a celebration for the community, right? For our administration, for our school, right? And then to honor the kids. It's a big deal anytime you win a state championship in any sport.
Brody McCullough has a 2-run lead to work with after the Wingate Bulldogs get 2 runs in the second inning. And McCullough has retired all 6 that he's faced. He's thrown 24 pitches. And in a 2-0 ball game, Matt Parkinson will lead off for the Eagles. A 2-hit night last night here in the 3rd inning. McCullough works out of the windup as he lifts the leg and pitches. Parkinson bunts a ball, or at least tries to, and misses on it for strike 1. Well, McCullough won 8 of his 9 starts this season. As he gets ready to work here against Parkinson and pitches, and Parkinson bounces one inside of the third base bag. Down the line, over to cut it off Motzinger. Parkinson has eyes for 2. He's hustling in there, and he's in there sliding in head first with a leadoff double. First base run of the day for Carson-Newman. Williams Rem, the third baseman, was well off of the line. And Parkinson just tucks it right in between him and the third base line, and then good hustle gets him into second base. Really good piece of hitting by Parkinson on a chopper down the line. And now here comes Jordan Griffin. He had 5 hits of Carson-Newman's 16 in that opening series against Wingate. 2-0 Dogs here in the 3rd. And McCullough will look back Parkinson at second base. Parkinson has not attempted a steal this year. As he pitches, and Griffin bunts one right back to the mound, though. McCullough picks, throws wide of third. This one ends up in the corner. Here comes Parkinson to the plate. Griffin hustles to second base, and Carson-Newman gets its first run of the day. They had the out. It was a fairly routine play. McCullough had plenty of time to get it to Williams Rem. Instead, he fires it wide of third, and Williams Rem couldn't backhand it. So a double, that'll go in as a fielder's choice and a throwing error on McCullough. And Carson-Newman gets a run and makes it 2-1. And here's Gunnar Ricketts. McCullough will look back Griffin at second. Griffin, great stolen base threat. 13 steals, 16 attempts this year. McCullough looks down for the sign as he pitches, and he misses up and away on a fastball. Ricketts hitting now 254. Talk about a slump right now for his crew. That has been the case. 1 of 11 against the Bulldogs in the series this year. Here's the pitch. Ricketts pushes a bunt. Third base side. This is perfect. Should be a hit. Williams Rem picks and will not have a play. That'll be an infield single on a bunt for Gunnar Ricketts. Well, McCullough wasn't going to be able to field it, and Williams Rem was heading towards third base thinking that McCullough was going to get the baseball. And by the time that he reacted to go get it, Ricketts hustles down the line, and Jeff Gregory is out of the dugout and heading to the mound. Very uncharacteristic of Wingate to make 2 mistakes like this. Well, the only team to beat McCullough this year came in a 7-inning game on March 14th. Lincoln Memorial won 1-0. How did the Splitters score their run? A passed ball. Alex Brewer threw 5 2/3 shutout innings, striking out 11 for LMU in that one. Well, after McCullough had retired all 6 that he saw in this game, entering this inning, a double, then he has a throwing error, and then a defensive miscue on a bunt. Miscommunication. Ricketts beats it out. And now the tying run is 90 feet away in a 2-1 game here in the third. Top-ranked Bulldogs on top by a run. Nobody out. McCullough pitches here to Jackson, who squares the bunt and watches a slider. Collects some dust down and away for ball 1. Jackson, a strikeout victim in the first. McCullough, one of the best artists in the country in terms of strikeouts. Boy, could he use one here. Griffin at third base, Ricketts over at first. McCullough comes set. He kicks the leg and pitches, and Jackson fouls one off of the body of McNeely to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, this season, McCullough, his 8 wins are 11th most in the nation, while he leads the country in strikeouts per 9 innings, 17.27 per 9 innings. Just an absurd figure. And a man that has his sights set perhaps on a national pitcher of the year laurel. But some work to do right now in the third of a 2-1 ball game in the conference tournament. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Jackson a tad late on a fastball, belt high. Moves it to a ball and 2 strikes. Wingate won its 7th regular season championship this year. First time since 2014 they could claim that. 1 ball and 2 strikes. McCullough pauses. He brings it up there. Jackson hits one sharply out to second, and that one's booted by King. It winds up in right center. Ricketts is hustling over to third base. Carson-Newman has tied the score. Another error from Wingate, and it's a 2-2 game here in the third. That looked like a tailor-made double play ball. Out to second base, King, the conference's freshman of the year. Had that ball take a bad hop, slide over his left shoulder, end up in right center, and Carson-Newman has scored twice to tie the score. There's still nobody out, and Ricketts alertly went to third. Runners at the corners for Micah Genter. He squares the bunt, and a pitch misses down and in for ball 1. Well, McCullough was frustrated against Carson-Newman last year. An error allowed the Eagles to put up 4 runs in the third inning in that 5-4 win on April 25th that handed the Dogs their first loss of the conference tournament. 1 ball, no strikes the pitch. Genter tries to push a bunt up the first base line, and it rolls foul over towards Carson-Newman's on-deck circle first base side. 1-1 the count. Well, 2 errors in this inning by Wingate for a team that is typically pretty solid when it comes to defense. Throw over to first to check on Jackson. He's back. Wingate had committed 2 errors in its last 5 games total, and they've made 2 here in the inning. 1-1. Genter pushes a bunt, third base side. Williams-Rem picks it. Ricketts is able to score. It's a successful squeeze bunt, and Carson-Newman has taken the lead 3-2 as Genter flawlessly executes the squeeze. 5-3 on the putout. RBI for Genter. Jackson to second base. Ricketts comes in to score. Well, what made that play interesting is McCullough was trying to get out of the way. I think if McCullough is not running towards that baseball, Williams-Rem might have come home and tried to get Ricketts. Instead, it's a 3-run third inning, and Carson-Newman has taken the lead on the top-ranked team in the nation. Here's Killian Daughtry with the runner at second, and McCullough starts him with a fastball that Daughtry slashes into right. Charging forward is Clark to make the catch, and Jackson will stay at second base. Pretty good swing by Daughtry, just didn't sink quickly enough. And with 2 outs now on a runner at second base, and McCullough having racked up 18 pitches in a stressful third inning. Carson-Newman on top 3-2. Here's Harrison Travis, a fly out to right, his only time up so far. McCullough looking to get out of this inning without any further damage. Eagles have scored 3 times to take the lead after Wingate scored twice in the second. McCullough's first pitch, well off the plate, down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, for McCullough, all 3 runs here in this inning are earned at the moment. 1 ball, no strikes. McCullough fires. Fastball misses high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Now, the last time Wingate was the number 1 seed in the conference tournament, go back to 2010. They didn't win a game. 10-9 loss to 6th-seeded LMU and a 4-0 setback to 2nd-seeded Mars Hill. And they were bounced from the tournament that year. McCullough steps off with Jackson bouncing around at second base. Jackson does have 8 stolen bases this year. And with the Eagles on top of the number 1 ranked team in the nation, McCullough's 2-0. Travis got a good swing at it, but fouled it back. 2-1. Wingate is 12-1 all time against Carson-Newman when ranked in the top 25. Carson-Newman's only win came at Ron Christopher Stadium in 2018. McCullough again set. Here's the 2-1. Gets a strike on the outside corner with a slider to even it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carson-Newman, the 7 seed, leads it 3-2 on top-seeded Wingate here in the conference tournament. Game number 1 of the double elimination. Right-hand pitcher against this right-hand batter with a runner at second. McCullough's break-even pitch on the way. Travis lines it into center field. That's a base hit. Jackson cuts the corner. He's coming in to score. The throw cut off in the middle of the infield. Jackson scores. Carson-Newman has scored 4 times here in the third and leads it 4-2. Travis has been Carson-Newman's best run producer in the last 2 months. And on a 2-2 pitch, gets a piece that he can hit and lines it right back through the middle. And the Eagles have scored 4 times in this inning. They scored 8 total runs in the 3-game series against these clubs in February. And the 8th man of the inning is Andrew Carpenter as he looks at a high fastball for ball 1. Carson-Newman 4, Wingate 2. What a response by the Eagles against the conference's pitcher of the year who has given up a season-high 4 runs. McCullough's 1-0. Carpenter lines it out towards center. Guy coming on, and he's there to make the catch, squatting down to end the inning. But what an inning it was for Carson-Newman. A couple Wingate miscues lead to a 4-run frame. And we've played 2.5. It's the Eagles on top. 4-2 against Wingate here in the SAC tournament.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us
and for college sports.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown.
NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
Carson-Newman scores 4 times in the top of the 3rd inning, and they have taken a 4-2 lead on the number 1 team in the country. 8 men come to the plates for the Eagles in the 3rd, and here come the Bulldogs with the top of the lineup coming to the plate. Andrew Motzinger, who grounded to 3rd his only time up. Matt Cole's back to work with a lead as he pitches and starts Motzinger with a good breaking ball at the knees for strike 1. Well, in series like these that go back 104 meetings as a bouncer back to the mound to the third base side. Coles picks and throws out Motzinger at first base. There have been some ebbs and flows in this series all time. Wingate leads the all-time series 59-45. They have won 8 of the last 9 meetings as well. They won 5 of 6 last year and 3 this year. Both 1 out and nobody on. Here's Michael Dansky in the 3rd with Carson-Newman leading at 4-2. Coles to Dansky, and the first pitch is a breaking ball, misses down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, this conference tournament has been a springboard for national tournament runs as Coles pitches, and he gets the outside corner with a breaking ball to even it up at 1-1. Kataba's been in the national title game. Wingate, of course, winning last year, the 1-1. Well low and outside, 2 balls and a strike. You have 2 top 15 teams in this conference right now, and Lenore Ryan's been hovering around the top 25 all year. 2-1. Swing and a miss from Dansky, out in front of a breaking ball. 2-2. Coles rocking out there on the mound, and here's his break-even offering. Dansky stays back this time around on a curveball and flips it foul to the third base seats. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Dansky ropes at first base side, but foul. Keeps it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coles working out of the windup. Here's his 2-2 pitch again. Dansky hits it right off of the mound. It high hops out towards right center field for a base hit. Dansky's first hit of the season against Carson-Newman. It started 0 for 11. Well, it hit that one sharply, and it banged off of the mound and hopped about 15 feet into the air before it winds up in the outfield grass. And in a 4-2 Carson-Newman lead here in the 3rd, Logan McNeely will get his turn, a strikeout victim in the 1st. Coles back to the stretch now. Carson-Newman leading 4-2. Senior left-hander pitches, and he misses down and away on a breaking ball for ball 1. Well, with all the left-handers in this lineup, Coles is a valuable weapon for Carson-Newman on the mound. 1-0. High and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Dansky, the first left-hand hitter in this lineup, other than Williams Rem to get a hit. 2 balls, no strikes. Coles brings it up there, and he misses again just below the knees on a breaking ball. That moves it to 3 balls and no strikes. Well, Wingate threatening again here to put some ducks on the pond. Runner at first base, Dansky. 3-0 pitch. Gets it on the outside corner, 3-1. Dansky 5 stolen bases this year. You're in a 4-2 ball game. Cole's looking to keep McNeely off of the base paths. 3-1 pitch. Slow curveball is across the belt for a strike, 3-2. McNeely turned back to the dugout, thought that pitch was maybe a little up in the zone. Signs being given by Jeff Gregory in the dugout. Let's see if Dansky's off and rolling it all here on a 3-2 pitch. Coles brings it up there, and McNeely hits a high fly ball to left. Griffin is over into the alleyway, and Griffin is almost all the way over to left center field to make the catch. The center fielder puts it away, and that retires McNeely. Well, a good battle back right there by Coles. He fell behind 3-0, gets it to 3-2, and then retires. The reigning national tournament MVP. And with 2 outs and the runner at first base, here comes Mitch Ferris. Ground out to second, his only time up. Carson-Newman 4, Wingate 2. Eagles looking to upend the top seed to start off this Friday. Coles works out of the stretch as he brings it up there. And Ferris lays off of a high fastball for ball 1. Well, a number 1 seed has not won the tournament outright since 2014. In 2016, we had that rain situation where Catawba and Tusculum were named co-champions. Coles is 1-0, high and away on a fastball, 2-0. That 2014 season when Catawba and Wingate shared the title in the regular season, it was Catawba getting the better of the Bulldogs 10-0 in the title game. Here, the Bulldogs are down 2. But Coles is in a 2-0 hole as he throws it over to first base to check on Dansky. Carson-Newman controls the running game as well as anybody in this conference this year. LMU getting a stolen base last night from Chris Hall. That was just the 14th stolen base allowed this year by Carson-Newman in 29 attempts. Coles gets a curveball rather that time around at the knees for a strike. 2-1. Dansky leads away from first. Coles' 2-1 offering. Ferris hits it in the air out to left center field. Long run for Griffin, but has plenty of time in the alleyway to make the catch and end the inning. Coles works around a 1-out single, and Carson-Newman leads it 4-2 through the first 3. Step out for a break. Carson-Newman on top, and their bats are back to the batter's box when we come back here to Smoky Stadium.
Every student comes to Wingate with a story. I know I did. Our students come from all walks of life.
They come to us as young people with hopes and dreams of their own. They're looking to Wingate to become the best version of themselves, and that's what we do.
The effect that Wingate has on me is compounded by the effect I have on the world after I leave Wingate.
Because making a difference is fundamental
to what we are as a university
and who we are as people.
Carson-Newman leads it 4-2 against top-seeded Wingate. The only man to not bat in the 4-run third inning, Zach Bowes leads off for Carson-Newman in the 4th. And McCullough's first pitch is on the inside corner at the belt for strike 1 call. Bowes grounded a short, his only time up so far today. Eagles on top, 4-2, looking to upend a number 1 ranked team for the 3rd time in the history of the program. 0-1, stays high, 1-1. Carson-Newman, a win in 1999 in the South Regional against Florida Southern. as well as 2020 against the reigning national champion Tampa Spartans. That was at the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex. 1-1 pitch is high on a fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Wingate, conversely, trying to become the first team to repeat as tournament champs since LMU did so in 17 and 18. 2 balls and a strike, the pitch, and Bose fouls it back. Evens the count at 2-2. Carson-Newman getting to McCullough. He threw 23 pitches in the 3rd inning. There's a huge hole back up the middle. Outfield playing Bose to hit it to the right side. The 2-2. Bose spikes it off of the plate, then off of his body foul to keep it at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, we've seen some tight games early on in this tournament. If last night is any indication of what we're going to get throughout this weekend, fasten your seatbelts for some entertaining baseball here in Kodak. Another break-even pitch. Bose rolls it beyond the mound. The shortstop Dansky charges, steps on the infield grass, and throws out. Bose at first base making the running throw. That was a good play there by McCullough because he thought about for a second maybe putting the glove out there and trusted the defense behind him to make the play. Leadoff man retired in the 4th, with Carson-Newman leading this game 4-2. Here comes the right-handed hitting Matt Parkinson, who doubled and scored to start off that 4-run 3rd inning. Right-hand pitcher kicks and fires, and there's a strike. No, check that. They call it a ball. That looked like a pretty good pitch for McCullough, and he kind of gives a wry smile out there. He thought that perhaps was a strike. Instead, it's 1-0 to Parkinson. McCullough pitches, and Parkinson this time does take a strike. It's down and away, but catches the outer half at the knees. Parkinson 3 hits in this tournament. He has played really well, the senior from Waitsboro, New York. McCullough winds and fires and misses high on a fastball. 2 balls and a strike. McCullough gets the sign, and here's the 2-1 pitch. That's across the knees again for a strike. 2-2. McCullough was a national tournament all-tournament team pick last year. Had a fine season as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McCullough into his motion. He brings it up there, and Parkinson gets one in on the hands and fouls it back to the screen. Keeps the count at 2-2. Carson-Newman's one of the harder teams to strike out. LMU last night had one of the best strikeout totals amongst any team in the conference, just behind Wingate. And the Eagles fans 6 times in that one. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Parkinson goes down swinging this time around, though. High heater this time from McCullough. 3rd punch out. And the first 2 set down here in the 4th inning. And now Jordan Griffin, who hit a bunt right back to McCullough, and it looked like things were turning in Wingate's favor because McCullough would have had Parkinson at 3rd, but he threw wide, and that was part of the 2-error inning, and Carson-Newman scored 4 times in the 3rd. And lead it right now 4-2 here in the 4th. Griffin swings at the first pitch, flies it to shallow right field, charging forward and camping out underneath it is Clark, and he makes the grab to end the inning. So the Eagles go down in order in the 4th. We're through 3.5. Eagles on top, 4-2 on the Dogs. Top-seeded Wingate trails Carson-Newman 4-2 as the Dogs come to the plate in the bottom of the fourth inning. Jed Bryant, who walked and scored in the second inning, leads off for the number one ranked team in the nation. Cole's back to work. 51 pitches so far, and he flies a fastball up and off the plate for ball one. Well, Coles was great against Wingate last year in the conference tournament. A Hunter Dula 3-run home run in the eighth was really the only thing that frustrated Coles in that one, as he misses again with a fastball away. 2-0. Coles threw 123 pitches in that game last year in the conference tournament. Here's his 2-0. Stays a little high this time, and it's 3-0 to Bryant. Coles has not given up a leadoff base runner so far today, but he's fallen in a 3-0 hole here to Jed Bryant, the right-handed hitter. Coles pitches, takes something off of it, and gets it in at the knees to make it 3-1. I'm kind of surprised that Wingate doesn't try to be aggressive when Coles falls in a 3-0 hole, because he takes something off and he just spots it over the plate, the 3-1. This time he goes to the breaking ball to get it across the knees for a strike, 3-2. Coles has done this a couple times where he's fallen in a 3-0 hole. He's battled back to get it to 3-2 and then eventually put the man away. What happens here on a payoff pitch? Bryant shoots it foul down the right field line into the seats. Keeps the count at 3-2. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Game 1 of 3 today. Newberry-Catawba at 2:45. Queens LR at 6:30. Another payoff pitch from Coles. Hit high in the air out to right center. Jackson is over into the alley, and instead it's Griffin again taking charge to make the catch. And yet again, Coles, despite falling in a 3-0 hole, is able to find the answer. So with one out and nobody on, here comes Ricky Clark. Strikeout victim in the second inning. And Coles goes back to work here after that 7-pitch sequence. Left-hander brings it on up there, and that one misses down and away on the breaking ball. 1-0. Coles rocks back and forth as he pitches. That nearly caught Clark on the backside. Instead misses down and in. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Carson-Newman 4 runs on 3 hits and a man left on base. As he pitches here, and that one nearly hit Clark again. Instead it goes to the backstop, and it's 3-0. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on base for Wingate. Well, for the second straight batter, Coles falls in a 3-0 hole. As he tosses here, he gets the outside corner with a fastball for a strike, 3-1. It feels like Wingate's game plan. Let him fall behind, then swing here on 3-1, and that's lined right past Andrew Carpenter into right center field for a base hit. Clark with a base knock. It's the 4th of the day for the Dogs. So Seaver King, who had one of the key hits in this one, will step to the plate with 2 outs and a runner at first base in the second inning. He lined a single back into center field, and that opened the door for Wingate to score twice in the second. Right now it's 4-2 Carson-Newman in the last of the 4th. Coles will throw over to first base to check on Clark. Clark only has 1 stolen base this year. That's the only steal that he's attempted all season as well. Left-hander coming set against the right-hand hitter. The pitch high and away. 1-0. Carson-Newman has needed to win some close games of late. They've won 3 straight by 4 runs total. They'd lost their last 4 in games decided by 2 or fewer runs prior to that. Coles pitches. King lines to third. Bose catches. Throws to first. And that one gets away from Daughtry. And Clark is going to hustle over to second base. Well, Bose had the right thought in mind to get the double play ball, but Daughtry was unable to get back to the bag in time. And a really nice play by Bose, leaping even with a third base bag. And the throw was not very good. It was wide, and Daughtry just couldn't adjust to it. And that'll be a throwing error on Bose. Second error of the game for Carson-Newman. Each team with a couple errors. Let's see if that hurts Carson-Newman. With Isaiah Williams-Rem coming to the plate. 2 outs and now a runner in scoring position. Had an RBI single with 2 outs his first time up, and this time around he gets plunked. Just above the belt on the back. He's hit by a pitch, and he represents the tying run now at first base for Justin Guy, who popped out to Parkinson to end the second inning. 4-2, Carson-Newman leads the top-seeded Bulldogs. So Coles to go to work here on Guy. 2 men on, 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Coles pitches, and Guy takes a strike at the knees. Good breaking ball from Coles to get ahead at 0-1. Guy this year has thrived in spots like these, hitting .323 with runners in scoring position. Carson-Newman has also gotten some action going down in the bullpen. Ryan Smithson has started to throw. No balls and a strike. Here to Guy. Coles brings it up there. That nearly hits him and misses down and in. Smithson was up and tossing a little bit last night. Was never summoned, though. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on, 2 outs. Carson-Newman's lead is 2. 4-2, bottom of the fourth. Cole stretches and pitches, and Guy swings and misses. 1-2. Cole's looking to buckle down. Both teams have been good with 2 outs in this game so far. Here's the 1-2. Guy strikes out swinging. Went for a pitch down and away, and Coles gets his 3rd strikeout, and it leaves 2 on base for the Bulldogs in the 4th. We're through 4. 7th-seeded Carson-Newman on top, 4-2 as we go to the 5th here on the SAC Digital Network. Gunnar Ricketts leads off Carson-Newman's half of the 5th inning. Here for the Eagles, he had a bunt single back in the 3rd with Brody McCullough. Pitching, 57 so far on the day as he fires and spins a fastball in the outside corner. So Ricketts here in the box with Carson-Newman on top, 4-2. As he pitches and misses low this time around. That makes it 1 ball and 1 strike. McCullough pitches and Ricketts fouls it back, 4-2. bring in former Carson-Newman all-conference, all-region pick and assistant coach Brandon Roberts. B-Rob, good to see you. Always enjoy having you here on the broadcast. Doing a little bit different this year, but enjoy having you back.
Thanks for having me. A little less stressed out this year, but good to be here.
McCullough misses outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. You look at tournament baseball, Carson-Newman was able to beat Wingate last year in this matchup. Coles against McCullough. As the right-hander pitches, and Ricketts fouls it back, 2-2. What is it about what Coles does that keeps hitters off balance, particularly a lineup like this that leads the conference in scoring?
You very rarely see back-to-back fastballs. He obviously mixes it very well. But just changing speeds with the fastball, changeup, curveball, and it's the definition of a complete mix of pitches.
McCullough gets a strikeout of Ricketts. Downstairs this time around, 4 strikeouts for McCullough.
You come to a minor league park and you got a soft-throwing lefty. Sometimes the opposing team, they get a little big with their swings. They try to do too much, so you can use the soft lefty with the big ballpark to your advantage, and that's what Coles has done the past couple years.
So here's Henry Jackson, 0 for 2 with a run scored, and McCullough starts him with a breaking ball low for ball 1. 4-2 Eagles here in the 5th. Conversely for McCullough, gave up those 4 runs in the 3rd. Otherwise, he has been flawless in his other 3+ innings as he fires in a check swing. Appeal down to first. Jacob Kefauver says strike, 1-1.
I think if he could go back on that bunt attempt by Griffin, he would have just taken the out, knowing how good of stuff he does have with a 2-0 lead. I think if he could go back, he would have just took the out there and then try to go to work and limit that inning.
1-1 is a swing and miss. 1-2. Yeah, I think that's an interesting point. Try to get that lead runner instead.
He did have him too. He did.
Yeah,
so it's not like he didn't have him.
Absolutely. The 1-2 now to Jackson. Bounced out towards second. King makes a clean play this time around with a chest-high hop and throws out Jackson. 2 outs. And now 6 in a row retired by McCullough for the 2nd time today. And here comes Micah Genter, an all-conference selection in his final go-around. Had a squeeze bunt in that 4-run 3rd inning with the Eagles on top 4-2.
Right now, if you're Carson-Newman, you just don't want to have back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings, because then it just feels like, all right, Wingate's going to strike eventually. We got to at least put some pressure with these innings. We got to get a guy on base, slow it down a little bit, and not just go 1, 2, 3 and bring Wingate back up.
Eagles went down in order in the 1st, the 2nd, and the 4th. McCullough looking to do it again here in the 5th as he pitches, and Genter lunges out after it and bounces it foul. McCullough gets ahead at 0-2. I think that's the tough thing against Wingate is it's one thing to have an inning where you get 4 runs. It's another to try to do that a couple times throughout the game to add on. McCullough's 0-2 pitch on the way. Foul tip. Genter just got a piece of it to stay around at 0 balls and 2 strikes. Genter always one of the harder hitters to strike out in this conference. McCullough has 4 of them. Looking for another 1, 2, 3 inning with his team down by 2 in the 5th. The 0-2 again. Genter checks his swing. They appeal down to 3rd. This time Trevor Hinson says that Genter stayed back on the breaking ball.
Really good job by Genter. That pitch looked like a strike, probably over half the way there, and then the bottom just fell out of it. And yeah, I might have got a little gracious call there.
Now the 1-2. Genter puts this in the air, right to Guy though in left center. He makes the catch. That ends the inning. 4th time in 5 innings, the Eagles go down in order. And Ken Wingate, with the top of the lineup coming to the plate, put a dent into a 2-0 deficit. Bulldogs coming back to the dish when we come back. 4-2 ball game here on the SAC Digital Network.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth...
It was Mr. Hines who made me want to become a teacher.
And then I said, that's one small step for man, one giant leap!
And that's why we don't try this at home. Any questions?
He inspired me. But it was LMU that helped me turn that dream into a reality.
407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent.
Mars Hill University, helping you move your mountain.
Mars Hill University gives me plenty of degrees to choose from.
At MHU, I get the attention I deserve.
MHU keeps me close to home, and there's tons to do in the mountains.
Over 60 courses of study, small class settings, a breathtaking campus. These are just a few examples of how MHU can help you start moving your mountain. Visit us today at mhu.edu. Mars Hill University, education that moves mountains.
Andrew Motzinger leads off the bottom of the fifth inning for the top-seeded Bulldogs. Carson-Newman leads 4-2. Matt Cole's back to work. 70 pitches on the afternoon as left-hander fires and misses way up and away for ball one. I'm going to ask you, you've been in the batter's box plenty of times in your career. When you have a pitcher like Coles that it seems like at any point the wheels could unravel. He's only thrown 40 of his 70 pitches for strikes. The 1-0, high and away, 2-0. How do you try to stay locked in because he's fallen behind 3-0 a bunch here today?
Yeah, it's tough. In a pitcher like Coles, you're not worried about hitting with 2 strikes because you know there's nothing that you really gotta protect against and can get fooled on and beat by. But also, yeah, when he falls behind 3-0, then you kind of want to be patient, see if he'll put you on his own. But it does make things difficult, and they say it's effectively wild. Rather than that guy that's always in the zone, you know exactly what you're going to get. Sometimes it works when one pitch is in the batter's box, the next pitch is inside corner. It's not an easy thing to do as a hitter.
Coles gets back in the count now at 2-2. Here to Motzinger as he pitches. Tries the outside corner with a breaking ball. Doesn't get the call from Bobby Dunnigan. Count full at 3-2. Coles rocking back and forth, and here comes the payoff pitch. Grounded out towards short. Genter picks it up between his legs and makes the strong throw to first to get Motzinger, who's now 0 for 3.
All Coles is trying to do is upset the timing and miss barrels, and that's what he's done. Hasn't had a lot of balls barreled up against him, and sometimes that's kind of a feel as a pitcher as the game's going on. There's some days you can't miss them, and there's some days you're just doing something where they can't barrel you up, and if your defense makes plays behind you, you can have a good outing.
Michael Dansky at the plate, 1 for 2 on the day, and the first pitch to him is on the outside corner of the breaking ball for a strike. Left-hander on left-hand batter. Coles pitches. Dansky flies it out to center. Griffin takes 2 steps to his left. He's there to make the catch, and that retires Dansky. 2 outs here in the fifth.
He's probably more of a guy that you sit on a spot or a location against rather than a pitch because he mixes it so much. So maybe you take away the outer part or the inner third of the plate and you just look for a location and you try to do damage with it.
Coles has retired the side in order once. That came in the first. Has a chance to do it here in the fifth against the top of the lineup. As he pitches in a ground ball, high hopper over the leaping third baseman Bose and into left field for a base hit for McNeely, his first of the day and the team's fifth.
Little unlucky there. I think it caught the lip of the grass out in front of home plate and got a nice little hop over leaping Bose at third.
So a 2-out single from McNeely. All of the hits today for Wingate have been singles. As Mitch Ferris gets his turn, a ground out to second and a fly out to center. 4-2 ball game, bottom of the fifth, 2 outs. Coles delivers and misses low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. I'm sure for Carson-Newman, too, getting away from the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex, they go up 50 home runs this year at home in 28 games. Nice to see a bigger ballpark and not as much wind. 1-0, swing and a miss. 1-1.
Not the ideal place to be a pitching coach, the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex. You got your work cut out for you. Not much room to move the fences back, as Coach Pat Brown used to ask if we could do all the time. Might have to move home plate back.
Yeah. The 1-1. Ferris pops it up right behind second base. Genter, the shortstop, into the outfield grass, backpedaling to make the catch, and that ends the inning. So Cole's another clean frame, and Carson-Newman will take a 4-2 lead into the 6th inning here in the SAC Baseball Championships.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Carson-Newman scored 4 times in the 3rd inning. Otherwise, Brody McCullough, the conference's pitcher of the year, has retired the side in order in the other 4 innings. And here in the 6th frame, Carson-Newman looking for its 2nd win against the top seed in the last 7 years of the conference tournament. As Killian Daughtry, 3-4-5, due up for the Eagles against McCullough, as he's retired 7 in a row. Right-hander kicking and firing, and Daughtry rolls one in the hole at short, backhanded by Dansky to a knee, pops up, throws it over to first. Ferris leans towards home, and he gets Daughtry at first base. That was a heck of a play by Dansky in the hole. The shortstop onto the outfield grass, sliding to a knee to make the play, and throwing it over to first base. And now I think the coaches might be asking for one here, a replay.
From the naked eye up here, I thought he held his foot on the bag. It looked like a great stretch by Ferris, but we'll see. That one's not going to do it for us.
Yeah, we're getting a look at it from the first base camera. It looks like Ferris has the foot on there and the ball in the glove and beats Daughtry by a step plus. And the umpires are going to take another look at it here. Let's see if we get a better look anywhere else. This might be our best chance if the camera moves. What do you think?
Definitely can't overturn it. I think he holds it.
Yeah.
I think he's got his toes on there. It's a great stretch. Great play by Dansky, too.
Terrific play by Dansky. And then Ferris kept the left foot wedged on the front left corner of the bag, put his left hand on the ground, and made the scoop at first base. Daughtry probably had the best look out of anybody because he's looking down at Ferris's foot as he's getting ready to step on the bag. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't see anything that would lead me to change that call. The ruling on the field is out at first base.
Yeah, you can see the rest of the foot off the bag, obviously, but the toes, you don't see any separation from the base and the cleat from that view.
Umpires will get 3 different camera angles to look at, and from everything that we've seen, certainly looks like Ferris kept it on the bag, but that was just a terrific play by Dansky in the hole, sliding to a left knee to pick it up and then throw out Daughtry at first.
If anything here, at least you're not letting McCullough get back on the mound, go 1-2-3, gets a first pitch out of the inning. At least you're giving Coles a little time in the dugout and maybe getting McCullough out of his rhythm a little bit, if anything.
rolling on the field, confirmed by the replay crew. Good play by Dansky to start off this inning. So with one out, 8 in a row retired now by McCullough. Here comes Harrison Travis, RBI single to put the exclamation point on a 4-run third. Carson-Newman leading at 4-2 against the number 1 ranked team in the nation. Right-hander McCullough kicking and firing, and the fastball zips on the inside corner for strike 1. Carson-Newman got out-hit last night 6-4 by Lincoln Memorial. They're being out-hit today 5-3, but they're winning the run column. The 0-1 misses down and in. A ball and a strike to Travis. Beautiful day for baseball. 75 degrees right now. Here in game 1 of 3 this afternoon. The 1-1. High and tight, 2-1.
It's a good take by Travis. Just missed on the inner half. Tough pitch to lay off.
Two balls and a strike. McCullough brings it up there. A good breaking ball in the inside corner, 2-2.
You can tell they're definitely trying to get in on him. Travis does a good job on pitches out over the plate, getting extended. We'll see if 2 strikes he tries to stay hard in.
Here comes that break even from McCullough. They go outside, and Travis fouls it back. I don't think that ball was as far outside as McCullough wanted it.
No, and I think after seeing that swing, close miss there by Travis, I think they'll try to go back in here, tie the hands up a little bit.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Travis. Here's the pitch. It is inside, and it hits Travis. 3rd time this weekend he's been hit by a pitch, and that ends a string of 8 in a row retired by McCullough.
It's what you risk with 2 strikes, and it's one of the hardest things to do as a pitcher is to go in with 2 strikes because you got 2 on him. Well, that got him on the elbow a little bit. You got 2 on him, and that's exactly what you don't want to do. You don't want to give him a free base. So that's why a lot of guys do struggle establishing that part of the plate.
So McCullough gives up a free pass here, the first base runner the Eagles have had since Travis singled in the 3rd. And Carpenter takes a look at a breaking ball at the knees for strike 1. Well, last year it was Hunter Dula and McCullough. Dula became a draft pick a season ago, and you'd think that McCullough has a good shot of hearing his name called in this year's draft. The 0-1. Carpenter squares to bunt, pushes it 3rd base side. McCullough takes it and throws out Carpenter at 1st base, so Travis moves down to 2nd.
I like the call. Probably want a little bit more down the line if you're Carpenter there, but make McCullough get off the mound. He makes a great play. But now at least you get him in a situation where he's got to make pitches with a runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Just a little more pressure inning rather than the 3 up, 3 down from the previous 2.
Runner in scoring position for Carson-Newman today. The Eagles are 2 for 4 in these situations. Let's see if Zach Bose can get off the schneid. 0 for 2 in this one. A couple ground outs to short. Carson-Newman leading at 4-2 here in this tournament contest. McCullough pitches. Misses down and in here. 1-0. As I mentioned at the beginning of this game, McCullough threw 115 pitches against Morris Hill last week. That was number 82 of this game. One, 2, or 1-0 rather. Swing and a miss on a pitch down. 1-1 with 2 outs and a runner at 2nd base.
Wingate being the number 1 team in the country, they're in a spot where they don't need to sell out to win this game. So I would assume, I'm sure McCullough's pitch count and durability has been built up, but I would be surprised if they extend him too much.
1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Bose flicks it foul off of 1st, 1-2. And that number 1 seed hasn't won the conference tournament outright since 2014. That means it's never happened in this ballpark since the conference moved it over here in 2016. That year it was co-champions between Catawba and Tusculum. McCullough gets ahead again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carson-Newman leading it 4-2 in the 6th. McCullough set, looking back at second base. He pitches, and Bose hits another ball foul back to the netting.
A well-placed fastball. It's a good job by Bose with 2 strikes. Wonder if they do try to go inside or if they stay out there. If you're Bose, you got to be thinking about what happened last time. They did try to come in. You should be looking for something middle away.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch. Down and outside. 2-2. Wingate scored first. 2 runs in the second inning. Carson-Newman bounced right back, scored 4 times in the third. That's where we stand right now, opening this double elimination bracket after the play-in games last night. Travis out at second base with 2 outs. A 2-2. Again, down and outside. 3-2. Doesn't get Bose to chase.
This will be an interesting pitch call here. First base open. Parkinson's on deck. He's been known to have a few clutch hits in his 2 years at Carson-Newman. See if McCullough attacks Bose or they try to get him to chase.
3-2 the count with 2 outs. McCullough pitches, and Bose bounces it foul down the third base line.
McCullough's limping a little bit after that last pitch. I don't know if his plant foot got caught on the rubber. Looks a little uncomfortable, though.
Well, they have gotten the bullpen up and rolling for the first time today. Jordan Howard has started to throw in the Wingate bullpen here in the 6th inning. McCullough comes set. Another payoff pitch. Bose spoils another one, hitting it foul to the right-hand side.
Very average speed, to be generous, at second base with Travis. But outfielders are definitely playing with a lot of depth. Right field might be the one spot where we could have a play at the plate. Left and center playing pretty deep. Base hit should score a run if it's hit there.
Another payoff pitch from McCullough coming plateward. And it's in at the knees with a fastball for strike 3 called to end the inning. That is the 5th punch-out for the nation's leader in strikeouts per 9 innings, and it keeps Carson-Newman off of the board for a 3rd straight inning. Carson-Newman, though, leads a 4-2 ball game through 5.5. Wingate will have Bryant, Clark, and King due up when we come back to Smoky Stadium.
You've got to see this place.
You gotta see this place. You've gotta see this place.
You 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 gotta see this place.
You've gotta see this place.
You got to see this place.
You gotta see this place.
You gotta see this place.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Smoky Stadium. Matt Coles doing what he did a year ago to Wingate, and that's giving Carson-Newman a chance to win a ball game. 4-2 lead. Jed Bryant leads off the 6th inning, and Coles' first pitch is off the plate, up and away, joined by Brandon Roberts, Michael Watring. Great to have you with us for game 1 of 3 today, and as many as 13 overall this weekend. 1-0 pitch. This is upstairs again. 2 balls and no strikes. Eagles have had the bullpen working. It is Ryan Smithson getting hot down there, and Coles has flirted with fire the last few innings, falling behind, but hasn't given up a run since the second as he pitches. Gets one on the inside corner to Bryant, 2-1.
That's the tricky thing right there. The first two curveballs came out of his hand funny, had no break on him, and then 2-0, he throws one on the inside corner, really good pitch, and that does make things tough.
The 2-1. Bryant lines this one out to left, but right in the tracks of a perfectly placed Gunnar Ricketts, snaring it and retiring Bryant.
He's definitely living on the edge, Matt Coles is, and it's a bold strategy to fall behind 2-0 repeatedly. And it's definitely a tricky situation as a coach. Like, you keep riding him. I mean, he's doing pretty well, but at the same time, it's when does it come back to bite you? It's a really fine line to walk and tough decision to be made.
Ricky Clark stands in and fouls the first pitch off. Strike one. 4-2 Eagles here in the sixth. Is there anything that you say to Coles in the dugout when he's falling behind like that?
Probably not. Probably not. Probably the pitcher and the catcher after inning. Maybe you guys have some conversations. Maybe just Clark got a good hold of that one.
Clark flies this to deep right field. Jackson back to the fence, and this one wedges against the base of the wall. Into second base, hustling Clark. First extra base hit allowed by Coles in this one. A one-out double by Clark to right field. Fifth straight inning, a hit against Coles. Carson-Newman leads at 4-2, and the tying run coming to the plate here in Seaver King.
Hanging breaking ball from Clark. He barely missed the first one that he fouled straight back. Coles went back to it. I think Clark thought it was gone. I've seen balls hit like that have cleared the fence by a good margin in the past couple years, so might not be carrying too well to right center right now.
So Seaver King at the plate, and he watches a breaking ball hit the outside corner for a strike. Haven't had a home run so far yet this tournament. Oh, and 1 the count here to King. 1 for 2 on the day. Lined out to third his last time up as Coles pitches and misses up and away. 1-1. Carson-Newman leading by 2, looking to sting the upset of the number 1 ranked team in the country. The 1-1. King hits this one through the left side of the infield for a base hit. Clark had to wait to make sure that it would get through, so he stops at third base. Back-to-back hits for the Bulldogs, and the go-ahead run now coming to the plate here in the 6th inning with Isaiah Williams-Rem, who's been aboard twice today, coming to the plate.
I could see them giving Coles the lefty here, and maybe not much more after that. I'm sure they're talking about it in the dugout right now.
That's a challenge that Wingate's lineup has because there are so few teams at this level that can do what Wingate does with a righty-lefty mix. And there's even fewer teams that have a lot of effective left-handed pitchers. So with Coles out there, trying to get through Williams-Rem here with a 4-2 game and a runner at third base as Rem takes down and away for ball 1. Runners at the corners, 1 out here in the 6th.
It's a deep lineup, too. There's some lineups, when you got 6, 7, 8 coming up, you feel like you can go right through them. That's definitely not the case with Wingate's lineup.
Williams-Rem, a second-team All-League third baseman. The 1-0. Misses down and away. 2 balls, no strikes. 93 pitches now for Coles. I mentioned he threw 123 in the conference tournament against Wingate last year. Well, if you're Carson-Newman, you got your eyes set on a double play ball. But Williams-Rem runs really well. It'd have to be really hard hit. Coles is ready, the 2-0. Off the plate, 3-0. Well, we talked about at the beginning. He's flirted with it. And perhaps this is the inning where Coles isn't able to work out of some self-induced trouble. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Coles in a 3-0 hole. The pitch misses high. Ball 4. Bases loaded. 1 out.
Obviously not ideal to get the tying run at second base and the winning run on, but got to force it any bag now. Got a contact hitter. Not the end of the world. I would assume Carson-Newman goes to Ryan Smithson here to try to get a ground ball. Just Cole's on the last few. This whole inning has kind of lost the shape of the breaking ball and the pep on the fastball that he had early on.
95 pitches for Coles. And as I mentioned, he's only pitched twice in the last 25 days for Carson-Newman. But, boy, has he really been solid in this ball game. 5 1/3 innings, but dealing with a bases loaded and 1 out. Smithson's ready in the bullpen. Parkinson's out to talk. And let's see if any decision will officially be made here. Still no movement from Carson-Newman's dugout after the meeting adjourns out there on the mound. I think Carson-Newman really dissecting this, trying to make their decision. Still no movement. Now Tom Griffin is on the dugout steps. He's walking out to the mound. Picks up some grass on the way through. Normally he jogs out there. This time he's doing a little field maintenance.
He always talks about trying to find wins in your day, so I think he's just trying to get good karma on his side. He might have saw a rapper.
Do you jog out to the mound when you make pitching changes?
I've been a jog guy this year, unless I am upset with the home plate umpire or the opposing team's fans. And I've stolen Coach Griff's strategy where I just go out there and stand and make the umpire wait or make the opposing team's fans wait. You know, if we're losing and I have to suffer through it, I want everybody to have to suffer as well.
Did you see those videos that he put on his Twitter page about what catchers can do? I think that's pure gold.
You know, I applaud him for getting away from the mainstream and putting stuff out there that's different. I thought it was funny that he had assistant coaches dress up. I thought that was that might have been a little far. Yeah, I'm wondering what strategy he's going with here. I really don't know if he had his decision made. I think he was thinking about this one for a while.
He is going to go to Smithson, so we'll step out here for a break. Ryan Smithson on in relief. We'll tell you about the right-hander when we come back. Bases loaded, 1 out for Wingate in a 4-2 ball game.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I
am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Well, Carson-Newman goes to the bullpen. First time in this one either side has needed to go to the bullpen after Matt Coles goes 5 1/3 innings. They call upon their most frequently used reliever. Ryan Smithson is out of the bullpen for the 22nd time this year. And boy, he comes in a tough spot. He's only walked 4 batters all season long in 28 innings pitched, so he is a strike thrower. But he comes in here with the bases loaded, 1 out. Carson-Newman clinging to a 2-run lead on the #1 team in the country. Justin Guy, who's 0 for 2 coming to the plate. Corner infield in, middle infield back. And Smithson going to work here. Right-hander comes set. He brings it up there, and Guy takes a strike on a good curveball at the knees.
If you're Jeff Gregory, all you want from Guy here is get that guy from third in. You don't want him to do too much. Get that first run in, and then let Mott Singer on deck. Try to get the next one, but you got to have him get 1 in here for you.
Smithson pitched a week ago, gave up a run in on a solo home run At Anderson. 0-1 the count. Smithson brings it on up there. Guy pops it up. Parkinson's giving it everything that he has, but it hits the netting to the right-hand side. But Smithson gets ahead 0-2.
Now you're looking for weak contact if you're Smithson. Something slow roller that a corner guy could come forward with. Maybe a pop-up like that in the infield. Obviously, a strikeout is great. But main thing is some weak contact. Maybe get that force out at home. And Guy runs really well, so he probably just wants to put something in play in the middle and get that RBI in from third.
Carson-Newman leads by 2. Big moment here. Bottom of the 6th inning. Wingate on top in the all-time series, but on the bottom of the scoreboard now. The 0-2 foul tip. Just got a piece of it. Lunging away was Guy. The count holds it. No balls and 2 strikes. Bulldogs have won 12 of the 13 all-time meetings between these clubs when Wingate has entered as a top 25 team. They've won 8 of the last 9 overall. But Carson-Newman leads by 2. Smithson's in the driver's seat at 0-2, trying to put away Guy. Right-hander stretches, he pitches, and Guy floats one out towards right field. Jackson camps out under it. He makes the catch, tagging and not running to the plate as the throw is slightly up the third base line. Clark stays put. Jackson threw out a runner for Wingate earlier this season at the plate. This time around, Wingate does not test the arm of Jackson.
Not a bad job by Guy. Henry wasn't able to get behind that ball in right field, but he's so good at his catch to release. They saw it earlier in the game. He made a play very close at the plate that probably shouldn't have been close at all. So third base coach decides to hold the runner and let Motsinger go to work.
Motsinger 0 for 3 after he was 7 of 11 against the Eagles earlier this season. 2 outs, bases loaded in the 6th. Smithson pitches, and a breaking ball bounces in the dirt for ball 1.
I was just going to tell you, I don't remember his stats earlier in the year at Carson-Newman, but I remember being at the game and not seeing him ever get out. A lot of backside line drives, couple home runs, I remember.
Well, few teams have gotten him out. He's hitting nearly 400 this year for a first-team all-conference pick. Top of the order up here. Smithson will back pick over to first base. Daughtry was sliding in behind Williams-Rem. It's a classic Carson-Newman move, trying to get the final out of the inning on the base paths with some kind of trick play.
I think we've given up about 8 runs trying that play this year. Not quite as successful at the high school level. We're going to keep trying, though.
Hey, you got to keep giving it a shot. Eventually it'll work out. 1-0 pitch. Motsinger flies it foul off of first, 1-1.
One thing it does do is it keeps the base runner at first a little more conservative, so ground ball in the infield, he's not able to get as good of a jump and beat that ball to second, which could be huge on a ground ball in the 6 hole up the middle. And it makes the infielders throw across if you do get a good jump on the swing.
1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Motsinger. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The pitch. On the outside corner with a breaking ball, 1-2. Well, Tyler Shaver has gotten up in Carson-Newman's bullpen right now. And the Eagles leading it 4-2. Bulldogs bases loaded. It happened with 1 out. Fly out from Guy, and now Smithson ahead at a ball and 2 strikes. Here in the last of the 6th inning. The right-hander is ready. He turns it loose, and Motsinger back up the middle. Great play by Genter. Shuffles, throws to first. It's in time to end the inning. Delightful play from Genter to keep Wingate off of the board in the 6th. And that ends the frame. And Wingate leaves the bases loaded in the 6th. 4-2 Eagles. We go to the 7th here in the SAC tournament.
Not everybody's going to pick Catawba, but Catawba can be a place for anybody.
You can find a sense of belonging. You can find your people here, and it can be whatever you make it.
If you want to transform into the person you have the potential to be.
If you aspire to inspire the world around you and others.
If you want to discover a sense of belonging and make it what you want, there's a place for you here. Catawba College is waiting. Are you ready?
excellence, integrity, care, curiosity. These are the values that define who we are. A community of thinkers, competitors, and achievers passionately pursuing the path of a purpose-driven life. Because at Lenore-Rhine University, we are called to greatness. We are LR.
Wingate leaves the bases loaded in the 6th inning. They had him there with 1 out, a fly out to right, and a good defensive play by Micah Genter. Gets the Eagles out of that inning. And now Brody McCullough will come back to work in the 7th inning. 90 pitches for the conference's pitcher of the year. Matt Parkinson in the box in the first pitch. To Parkinson is a high breaking ball that is a wave and a miss by Parkinson. Wingate has a bunch of bodies in the bullpen. Looks like Jordan Howard is pretty much ready to go if Wingate needs to go to the pen as McCullough pitches and Parkinson waves at a fastball high and tight. I think his follow-through actually might have caught McNeely, too. Makes it no balls and 2 strikes. Carson-Newman's 4-run 3rd inning in which Wingate made 2 errors, uncharacteristic for this club, has given the Eagles this 2-run lead. McCullough peers down for the sign as he brings it on up there, and Parkinson flies it out towards right center. That's exactly where Guy was shaded, and the center fielder is there to make the catch, and that retires Parkinson for the first out of the 7th inning. We can close the book on Matt Coles. He's in line to win it right now for a 2nd straight year against this Wingate team. 5 1/3 innings, 2 runs, only 1 of which is earned. He scatters 7 hits and 2 walks. He strikes out 3 in his outing. And with 1 out, nobody on, here's Jordan Griffin, who's 0 for 2 with a run scored today. 4-2 Eagles in the 7th. McCullough pitches. Check swing, foul ball from Griffin for strike 1. Wingate has scored at least 10 runs in 3 of the last 4 ball games. It's a potent offense, but held just 2 so far in this one. 0-1. Griffin pushes it foul backwards. No balls and 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes. McCullough getting the sign as he pitches, and Griffin's down swinging. 6th strikeout for McCullough. McCullough struck out at least 10 in 5 of his 9 games. In fact, this season, Wingate has 2 games in which they've struck out at least 20 batters. That is a ridiculous rate. And with 2 outs and nobody on, here's Gunnar Ricketts, who has a bunt single and 2 trips. 4-2 Carson-Newman here in the 7th. McCullough kicking and firing. Ricketts squaring to bunt. A fastball splits the plate in half for strike 1. Carson-Newman 4 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, 2 left on base. Wingate on the other side, 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. They've left 8 runners aboard. One strike and nothing to count here to Ricketts. Right-hander McCullough into his motion, brings the leg up and pitches, and breaking ball misses low as Ricketts was looking to drag a bunt. 1-1. This game has a little bit of that feel of last night's Carson-Newman LMU game. A little bit of a lull in the middle of the game that it picks up at the end. The 1-1. Fastball outside corner, 1-2. Right-hand pitcher McCullough into his motion, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball outside. 7th strikeout for McCullough. He's fired up after that inning. Another 1-2-3 frame cashed in by McCullough. But Carson-Newman continues to lead. Stretch time here at Smoky Stadium. 4-2 Eagles with the Bulldogs, sending 2, 3, and 4 to the plate when we come back on the SAC Digital Network.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
As soon as you win the state championship, you start getting calls and emails and brochures sent to you from all these ring companies. We'd already talked for a long time that the first one we got here at BA, it was going to be the biggest thing we could find. Right? It was going to be the biggest ring we could get. You know, we wanted to make this a celebration for the community, right? For our administration, for our school, right? And then to honor the kids. It's a big deal anytime you win a state championship in any sport.
Ryan Smithson's coming back to work in the bottom of the 7th inning. He got the final 2 outs to leave the bases loaded in the 6th. Carson-Newman has a 4-2 lead on the number 1 ranked team in the country, Wingate, 42-6 this year. Ryan Smithson against Michael Dansky, who's 1 for 3 today. And the right-hander kicks and fires, and Dansky rolls it out towards short, backhanded in the hole by Genter. Long throw over to first base. It is in time by a fraction of a step to get Dansky for the first out of the bottom of the 7th. We might get another look at that one. Genter with a long throw, and that is a bang play at first base, and I think the umpires might want to take another glance at this one. Jacob Kiefhofer was the one that made the call at first. To the naked eye, it almost looked like Dansky beat it out. Genter took his time to get to the backhand there, and despite a good, strong throw, they indeed will take another look at this one here in this bottom of the 7th inning. We're getting another look at it. If you're not watching and you're just listening with us, I'll describe it. A long throw over. Daughtry lunged out. Dansky getting the left foot. Let's see. Looks like a tie. Looks like the left foot makes contact with the bag as the ball is going into the glove of Daughtry. They're rewinding it here. Ball is in the air. Now it's in the glove. I mean, that is a bang play. That is a tough call. And the question that you have to ask is there enough there for you to overturn the call? Getting a look from the third base angle. I don't know if we're going to see the ball into the glove here of Daughtry, at least from this angle, although the camera is moving here at the last moment. Let's see. Frame by frame we go. And, I mean, it really does look like it's a tie at the end of it all. It looks like Dansky steps on the bag as the ball is going into the glove of Daughtry as we go frame by frame. So I'm going to imagine perhaps the tie will go to the runner. I have a pretty definitive look at it, and the umpire's giving it a good look over here, and they'll look at all of the angles just in case any angle is better than the others. With Dansky hustling down the line at first base. Well, this is just game 1 of 3 here today. Newberry and Catawba are getting loose right now. They'll start about 45 minutes after this game concludes. Nightcap tonight, Queens and Lenore Ryan. How about Queens? First ever trip here to the conference tournament. Rising to the number 3 slot in the conference championships. The umpires have made their decision, and the play will stand. So it is a 6-3 putout. Not enough to overturn that one. And that's a tough play for Wingate. And now Carson-Newman 8 outs away from staying in the winner's bracket. The winner tomorrow will play at 2:45 against the loser of the nightcap, while the loser has to come back at 11 a.m. against the loser of Newberry-Catawba. Smithson now goes to work on Logan McNeely and misses high and tight on a fastball. Ball 1. Resetting things, 4-2. Carson-Newman on top. Bottom of the 7th inning, 1 out, nobody on. Smithson on in relief as he pitches. And McNeely flies this one out to right center field. Into the alleyway goes Jackson. He's there to make the catch. And that retires Logan McNeely. And with 2 outs and nobody on, here's Mitch Ferris. Ferris is 0 for 3 today. As I mentioned, when Smithson came out there in the last inning, he is a pitch-to-contact hurler, and he is somebody that Carson-Newman uses frequently this season. Strike thrower, and lets his defense do the work behind him. Righty on left-hand matchup, and the first pitch to Ferris misses a little bit up and away for ball 1. Carson-Newman 4, Wingate 2. Last of the 7th inning here with 2 outs and nobody on. Smithson's 1-0. Ferris bounces it off the plate, then off of his body out towards the pitcher. 1 ball, 1 strike on a foul ball. Well, Wingate this year was incredible at home. 26-1 at home. Great on the road as well. 15-5, as you would expect from a team. It's really been Wingate and Tampa that have gone back and forth as the number 1 team in the country. Voters have flip-flopped a couple times this year. The 1-1. Ferris lifts it down the left field line, hugging the line, and it splashes inside of the chalk into the left field corner. Ferris is hustling to second base. He's going to stop there with a 2-out double here in the 7th inning. First hit of the day for Ferris. It is the 6th consecutive inning in which Wingate has produced a hit, and they're now out hitting Carson-Newman 8-3. So with 2 outs and a runner at second, here's Jed Bryant, who's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored today. Wingate scored twice in the second. McCullough retired the first 6 that he saw, but 2 errors unraveled the Bulldogs in the third. A 4-run frame for Carson-Newman. And that's where we stand now here in the 7th. 4-2 ball game, 2 outs. And Bryant, who's got oodles of power, at the plate. Smithson pausing, now pitching. And a breaking ball that stays right around the belt on the inner half is there for strike 1. Two outs and a runner at second. Smithson's ready. Here comes his 0-1. That misses inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Looks like Griff Hughes has now started to get loosened up in Carson-Newman's bullpen. A left-hander. Always a tough choice. Which left-handed hitter do you use your last left-handed pitcher against? 1-1. Misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. Carson-Newman has this 2-run lead to work with. Wingate looking to find a response here with 2 outs. Right-hander coming set again. The 2-1. Bryant hits it in the air out to center. Griffin is camped out underneath it, trotting to his left. He's there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. So a 2-out double goes by the wayside. Wingate has left 9 on base in the game, and we go to the 8th. Eagles lead at 4-2 here on the SAC Digital Network.
Dear college sports,
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
Well, if you looked at the scoreboard, you'd think that Carson-Newman has been able to impact Brody McCullough, but it's only been one inning that Carson-Newman has done that, and it was because of 2 errors. One by McCullough. Otherwise, he has been nearly flawless, just one hit batter in his other 6 innings. Top of the lineup due up for the Eagles in a 4-2 game here in the 8th. And the first pitch from McCullough stays high, 101 pitches now for the conference's pitcher of the year. McCullough works out of the windup. Bullpen is ready to go for Wingate as he fires, and Jackson rolls one slowly, fair inside of the third base bag. Williams ram a backhand behind the bag and throws out Jackson at first base. McCullough has had 5 1-2-3 innings in this game. He retires Jackson to lead off this inning, and now Micah Genter, who's 0 for 3 with a squeeze bunt in this ball game. McCullough works out of the windup. 4-2 Eagles on top. The pitch. Genter swinging a foul tip. Gloved by McNeely. Carson-Newman leading by a pair. Great to have you with us for this one. Right-hander into his motion, and he brings it on up there, and Genter fouls it straight back, 0-2. Carson-Newman 3 hits, but a 2-run lead. McCullough out of the windup. He brings it up there. Just missed on a fastball away. McCullough thought he had his 8th punch out. McCullough has gone over triple digits in strikeouts this season. 101 now on the year in this game, as he goes over it today, as Genter swings and hits it sharply through the hole on the right side of the infield for a base hit. That is the first hit for Carson-Newman since the 3rd inning, and just the 2nd base runner since that frame. And Genter, who had a 12-game hitting streak halted last night, kickstarts a new one here today. And a 1-out base runner for the Eagles. And I think that'll be the end of the line for McCullough. Really good effort by McCullough today. If not for a couple defensive miscues, Wingate would probably be leading this ball game. At the very least, you'd think that it might be tied. So the Bulldogs will turn it over to the bullpen. McCullough done. Eagles with a runner at first base, 1 out here in the 8th. 4-2, Carson-Newman on top.
Every student comes to Wingate with a story. I know I did. Our students come from all walks of life.
They come to us as young people with hopes and dreams of their own. They're looking to Wingate to become the best version of themselves, and that's what we do.
The effect that Wingate has on me is compounded by the effect I have on the world after I leave Wingate.
Because making a difference is fundamental
to what we are as a university
and who we are as people.
Wingate turns it into the bullpen, and they call upon a right-hander in Jordan Howard. On in relief of Brody McCullough. Howard, this season, making his 20th appearance. He's 5-0 with a .369 earned run average on the season. And he comes on in relief after Genter singles with one out. And you're in the 8th inning, so Killian Daughtry, who's 0 for 3, steps into the box. And the right-handed pitching Howard kicks and fires and spins his slider down and away for ball 1. Well, for the second straight year in the conference tournament, Brody McCullough cannot win it against the Eagles. Carson-Newman got the better of him last year before the Bulldogs ended up winning 3 straight elimination games to win the title. 1-0 pitch. Runner takes off. Daughtry swings and misses. Tied up. Throw down to second base. Genter not in time with his slide. He is thrown out. And I think the umpires might want to take a quick glance at this one here. Daughtry was really tied up. And then Genter tried to evade the tag, but a good tag by King to get his glove onto the leg of Genter. So for now, it's a caught stealing 2-4. As the umpires have a conversation about this. I almost wondered whether or not maybe Daughtry on his swing maybe interfered. The umpires immediately, Bobby Dunnigan wanted to have a chat with everybody else. Umpires are still chatting this one over down there. And now they're going to bring Jeff Gregory out to have a conversation. I'm really not sure what the chat is here. Well, Genter's going back to first base. So what they're asking right now is whether or not there was batter's interference on Daughtry. On his follow-through, it looks like maybe the bat hits the glove of McNeely. If that's the case, Genter can go back to first base and there will be no pitch. And the home plate umpire, Bobby Dunnigan, made that ruling almost immediately as Daughtry's follow-through. He was tied up on a pitch down and in. And the umpire's chatting this one over. And Jeff Gregory has not found a verdict that he appreciates at this point. Still chatting with a couple of the umpires. Well, it's obviously big for Wingate because instead of 2 outs and your pitcher's ahead at a 1-0 to Daughtry, potentially just 1 out, Genter gets to go back to first. I mean, that is a huge insurance run for Carson-Newman if they find a way to get him in. So after the conversation, they wrap it up, and Coach Gregory heads back to the dugout, unhappy with the call. So they do call it a backswing interference on Daughtry. So the rule there, no pitch. No, check that. It is a strike, sorry. The pitch counts. The ball is dead as soon as the pitch goes in. And Genter gets to go back to first base. So the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-handed pitcher McCullough is off 7 1/3 innings. And now Howard takes over as he pitches, and Daughtry fouls it back. Gave a scare to our production crew. It's tough. I mean, when you're running that production stuff to our right-hand side, you're dialed into the screen in front of you, making sure you're getting the shots, and then all of a sudden this ball is winding up right near the window. One ball and 2 strikes. Howard ahead as he pitches. Hits the outside corner with a fastball for strike 3. Freezes Daughtry with a fastball at the knees outer half, and now here comes Harrison Travis. Travis has had a good tournament so far. He's been hit by 3 pitches, including 1 in his last at-bat. Also has an RBI single. Carson-Newman 4, Wingate 2. Top of the 8th, 2 outs. Wingate will get the top of the order back to the plate in this game at some point. The 6th slot is due up in the bottom of the 8th. Genter leads away from first. Howard pitches. And a slider hits the outside corner for a strike. To get him ahead at 0-1. Howard last pitched against Mount Olive in the midweek this week. He walked 3 and gave up a couple runs in an inning and a third. Otherwise, he'd been good in the last few weeks. 1 strike pitch. Travis hits a towering pop-up down the left field line. It's the shortstop Dansky calling off Williams' rem to make the catch down the line and end the inning. So Carson-Newman gets the 1-out single. That's all they get. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Wingate trails by 2. Clark to lead off when we come back here to Smoky Stadium. Bottom of the 8th inning. The top seed in the South Atlantic Conference baseball tournament trails by 2. They have 6 outs to go here. Standing into the batter's box will be Ricky Clark, who has a couple hits today, including a double his last time up. And Ryan Smithson goes back to work with Carson-Newman leading at 4-2. Smithson pitches, and there's a strike on the outside corner on a fastball. Well, it feels like every year there's a team that plays in that play-in round that catches a little bit of fire, gets some heat, and makes a run. The 0-1. Clark takes a fastball, this time low and away. Makes it a ball and a strike. Close the book on McCullough. 4 runs, 3 earned. 4 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts in 7 1/3 innings. The pitch. Misses up and away. 2 balls and a strike here to Clark. Well, Wingate's offense can blow it open at any point. They lead the conference in scoring this season, 9 runs per game. Held to 2 right now. Smithson into his motion, and the right-hander's 2-1. Stays low and inside. 3-1. Well, Carson-Newman has the bullpen ready to go. They have used a few different guys down there. Right now it's the senior Tyler Schaefer. 3 balls and a strike here to Clark. Smithson pitches. Clark rolls it foul up the first baseline. Wingate went down in order in the first. Since then, they've had a hit in every inning. They put a man in scoring position in 3 of the last 4, including the bases loaded and 1 out in the 6th. Have not scored since the 2nd. Count is full in a 4-2 game in the 8th. And here's the payoff pitch. Misses outside with a fastball. Ball 4, and Clark is aboard. And once again, Wingate will get the tying run to the plate here in the 8th inning with Seaver King, the conference's freshman of the year, coming to the dish. 2 hits and 3 at-bats so far for King. And a pinch runner as well. So Clark's day is done, and they bring in Andrew McKay to run over at first base. So good at bat for Clark to get the leadoff man on base. That's something that Wingate really hasn't done in this game. In fact, they haven't done it at all until right now, getting the leadoff man aboard. So McKay now running. He does have 7 steals and 7 tries. You wonder if you start him in motion at all here. King at the plate. Smithson pitches. Misses high on a fastball, 1-0. Well, Wingate's only lost 6 times this year, and there's a reason for that. They're relentless in their attack. Matt Parkinson calls for time, makes his way out to the mound to have a word with Smithson, who's gone an inning and 2/3 so far in this one. Matt Cole started it for a 2nd straight year, cashed in an excellent outing against this Wingate crew. And a Wingate team that has only lost 9 times in the last calendar year. He's down by 2, but an opportunity here in the 8th to at least get 1 back. So after the meeting on the mound, everybody goes back their separate ways. And it looks like Smithson will stay out there. No movement from Carson-Newman's bullpen. 1 ball, no strikes. Smithson pauses, now pitches. And King fouls one back into the right-hand side, 1-1. Well, the one thing that a lot of the teams have, because of the COVID year, is experienced players that use that bonus season to come back. Smithson, one of those for the Eagles. King, the true freshman out there. In the box, the pitch. He hits it high in the air, off of first base. Should be playable for Daughtry. Onto the warning track. He's there to make the catch as he leans back in foul ground to retire King. Massive first down. And life gets tougher with Isaiah Williams-Rem coming to the plate. Back-to-back all-conference hitters. Williams-Rem has singled, has been hit by a pitch, and walked. He's been on base 3 times. With McKay at first base in a 4-2 game here in the 8th. Smithson going to work on a left-handed hitter. Righty against the lefty here in a 4-2 affair in the bottom of the 8th. Smithson pauses. Now he'll throw to first base. That's one of the things that makes Wingate ultra potent. You have to always keep one eye peeled on runners on base, and McKay's a very good base stealer. Here's the pitch. Williams-Rem takes a strike on the outside corner of the fastball. No balls and 1 strike. Wingate doubling up Carson-Newman in the hit column, 8-4. But the Eagles doubling up the Bulldogs in the run column, 4-2. Wingate's left 9 on base. Smithson pauses, a long hold. Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 went down and away around the kneecaps, and Williams-Rem came up empty. 0-2. Carson-Newman looking for its 2nd win over a number 1 team in the last 3 years. The 0-2. Well off the plate. Doesn't entice Williams-Rem. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, everything is designed for the 1 seed or whoever really plays in this game to have a pretty good route to the championship round. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch, high on a fastball. The winner plays at 2:45 tomorrow, so you get that extra bit of rest. And then, if you win that game, you play at 11 a.m. on Sunday. And if you win that, you don't play again until Monday in the championship. If you lose, you have to play later that night. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Good breaking ball down and away from Smithson. Not known for his strikeout prowess. Gets his first. And after the leadoff walk, a pop-up and a strikeout. And the Eagles 4 outs away with Justin Guy coming to the plate. He's 0 for 3 and has had 2 chances in this game to drive in runs. Had a runner at third base and 2 outs in the second when he popped out, and had the bases loaded and 1 out when he flew out to right in the 6th. The pitch. Guy flies this one foul into the seats off of first base. 1 strike and nothing. The last time Carson-Newman was the 7 seed back in 2017, the Eagles got hot and went all the way to Championship Monday before falling to Lincoln Memorial in the first 2 straight titles for the Splitters. Can they get hot again here? Tight win last night. A tight lead here today. 1 strike pitch. Guy flies it out towards center field. Giving chase is Griffin, a few feet in front of the warning track. He's there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. Smithson works around a leadoff walk. Wingate has left 10 on base in the game. We go to the 9th. Carpenter, Bose, Parkinson to the bat rack, looking for some insurance for the Eagles when we come back. Wingate makes a couple changes. Andrew McKay stays in the game. He's out in right field, and the Bulldogs call upon a first-team all-conference reliever in Sam Broderson. Broderson is as good as it gets in the entire country. This season, in 20 appearances, he struck out 67 batters in 37 and a third innings pitched. Opponents hit 147 against him. And he gets the 9th inning with Carson-Newman holding a 4-2 advantage on the number 1 team in the nation. Carpenter, Bose, and Parkinson due up for Carson-Newman here in the 9th. We've had runs scored in 2 innings. Wingate scoring twice in the 2nd. Carson-Newman scoring 4 times in the 3rd. Wingate made a pair of errors in that inning, and Carson-Newman took advantage against the conference's pitcher of the year in Brody McCullough. So Broderson, the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Bulldogs, and boy, he was nearly unhittable against Carson-Newman when these teams met up earlier this season. 4 shutout innings, 5 strikeouts, 1 hit in a 4-2, 9-inning extra inning ball game. when these teams squared off at Mossy Creek on February 26th. Carpenter leads it off, 0 for 3 on the day. And the right-hander Broderson works out of the stretch here, and the big right-hander brings that leg up and pitches, and Carpenter lines a single into left field. First pitch swinging on a fastball, and it's just the 5th hit of the day for the Eagles and the leadoff man on base. Well, you want to get it out of a bloop and a blast range because Wingate has had men on base in every inning but the first. And the 8th inning was the first time they didn't have a hit since the first inning. And Zach Bose will come to the plate. He's hitless in 11 at-bats against Wingate this season. Carson-Newman 4, Wingate 2 here in the 9th. Broderson works out of the stretch. The right-hander comes set, brings it up there. Bose squares the bunt. The first pitch slider stays up in the zone for ball 1. Well, Carson-Newman led the country in sack bunts this year. Everybody 1 through 9 can do it. And with the hot-hitting Parkinson in the on-deck circle, trying to get the runner over to second. 0-0. Bose bunts it, first base side, very good one. Broderson bare hands, throws high over the head of Bose, and Ferris makes a good catch. Ball probably got lost behind the helmet of Bose for a half a second there, and Ferris makes a good play on it. It does get Carpenter over to second on the 1-3 sacrifice. Very fine play by Broderson, fielding his position. So here's Matt Parkinson. 1 for 3 today after 2 hits last night. And in a 4-2 game in the 9th with 1 out, Broderson will go to work. He's got those sleeves hitched up as temperatures drift towards 80 degrees here on this Friday. Right-hander will look back Carpenter at second base without a throw. You got a couple hitters here in Carson-Newman's lineup back-to-back that have been pretty solid against Wingate this season. Broderson set. He pitches. Check swing. Parkinson cannot lay off after an appeal to first. Carson-Newman has got the bullpen up and loosening as well. Hunter Harriton is starting to get loose down in the bullpen. One strike and nothing. Here to Parkinson. The Eagles lead it by 2 here in this first game of the double elimination. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good slider down and away. 0-2. Well, looks like the game plan here against Parkinson. Spin up some sliders. Parkinson steps out of the box, now climbs directly back in there. No balls and 2 strikes. Outfield shoveled around to the right-hand side. Broderson's ready. He pitches, and Parkinson hits a hard liner out to center field. Guy will retreat to make the catch. Carpenter tags. He's motoring over to third base and gets in there sliding. Productive out from Parkinson, but it's the second out of the inning here in the 9th. Well, here's Jordan Griffin. Griffin's always a threat to perhaps drop down a bunt. So I'm sure he'll keep his eyes peeled on Williams Rem at third because the Eagles could perhaps try to steal one and see if Griffin can bunt for a hit. His bunt in the 3rd inning unraveled Wingate. With the runner at second base and nobody out, he bunted back to McCullough. McCullough threw wide of third, and that opened the floodgates. 4-2's the score here in the 9th. Runner at third and 2 outs. Broderson pitches and misses high for ball 1. No sign of a bunt that time from Griffin. Sometimes against these great relievers, you have to think outside of the box. Broderson set. Right-hander gets the sign and pitches. And a fastball is right down Broadway for a strike at 1-1. Broderson gave up 3 runs to Tusculum on April 15th. That was a season high for him, and just one of 2 times this year he's given up multiple runs. Strikeouts are something that he has racked up in high numbers. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Griffin chases a slider that was nowhere near the plate, down and away. 1-2. Well, now you definitely call off the guard on the bunt attempt. The sophomore out of Winter Garden, Florida. Same hometown as Carson-Newman starter today, Matt Coles. He's ready with a 1-2 pitch here in the 9th. Here it is. Griffin fouls it back just out of the mid of McNeely, rather. Carson-Newman 4, Wingate 2. Due up in the bottom of the 9th inning, it'll be the top of the lineup for the Bulldogs. Motzinger, Dansky, McNeely. Should anybody reach, it'll be Ferris. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Broderson again comes set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, high fastball. And the right-hander works around a leadoff base hit. Carson-Newman fails to score in the 9th to add to its lead. A 4-2 game. Here comes the Bulldogs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Is an upset brewing, or does Wingate have a comeback in the bottom of the 9th? 4-2 game here on the SAC Digital Network.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth...
It was Mr. Hines who made me want to become a teacher.
And then I said, that's one small step for man, one giant leap! And that's why we don't try this at home. Any questions?
He inspired me. But it was LMU that helped me turn that dream into a reality.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent.
Mars Hill University, helping you move your mountain.
Mars Hill University gives me plenty of degrees to choose from.
At MHU, I get the attention I deserve.
MHU keeps me close to home, and there's tons to do in the mountains.
Over 60 courses of study, small class settings, a breathtaking campus. These are just a few examples of how MHU can help you start moving your mountain. Visit us today at mhu.edu. Mars Hill University, education that moves mountains.
Carson-Newman turns it over to the bullpen, and they call upon one of their 2 closers this season. It is Hunter Harriton out of the bullpen for the Eagles. Harriton this season has 3 saves, 31 strikeouts, and 24 1/3 innings pitched. And he enters in the bottom of the 9th inning against this Wingate ball club, looking to pull an upset on the number 1 team in the country. Looks like Wingate is bringing in a pinch hitter here as well. Grayson Chapman is pinch hitting for the Bulldogs. First pitch from Harriton misses up and off the plate. Very interesting. The first team all-conference pick, Motzinger, pulled down, and Chapman, who is a .333 hitter this year, is in the box, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. That just speaks to the depth of the number 1 team in the nation when you can take a first-team all-conference pick out and still have a guy hitting .330. The 1-1. Just missed. Carson-Newman thought it was a strike. Fans letting Bobby Dunnigan hear it. Tyler Shaver is loosening in the bullpen, just in case. 2-1 the count. Harriton wheels and deals, and a foul ball back by Chapman. 2-2. Chapman, 20 starts this season. He's been pretty hot at the plate. Hits in 8 of his last 9, including 4 multi-hit games. The 2-2. Popped up on the infield. Now into the shallow outfield grass is Genter. The shortstop, he lost it, and it falls in center field. And that'll be a base hit for Chapman. Genter couldn't find it. Griffin just assumed that Genter was going to make that play, and it falls in center field. And a leadoff single on a bloop. Genter couldn't find it, and he located it at the last second, and the ball just bounces right in between him and Jordan Griffin in center. Well, it's been one of those seasons for Carson-Newman where some things have gone wrong. Let's see what happens here. The tying run at the plate in Dansky. 1 for 4 today in a 4-2 game in the bottom of the ninth. Harrington pitches, and it's a fastball up and off the plate for ball 1. Man, what a difference that one play makes right there. Instead of 1 out, nobody on, you're a third of the way home. Instead, high-pressure moments now against Harrington. The Marshall transfer, straightening up and pitching. And he gets one on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Well, Harrington had a terrific start to the season, was nearly unhittable, 10 2/3 innings to begin his career, giving up just 2 unearned runs. The 1-1. Missed outside on a fastball, 2-1. Walks became a major issue for him. 12 in his last 13 2/3 innings. He's given up 18 runs in his last 12 outings. 2 balls and 1 strike. Harrison pitches, and Dansky flies it foul off of third base. Even in the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harrington's last outing, though, was good. After he went 11 days without pitching, 2 scoreless innings against Anderson to earn the save in the regular season finale. Runner at first base, nobody out in the 9th. 4-2 the game, and the pitch misses outside. That was a good-looking pitch from Harrington, and he didn't get the call. Harrington pitched twice against Wingate earlier this year, gave up 2 earned runs in 4 1/3. 3-2 the count here in the 9th. The payoff pitch. Line down the left field line. Ryan Potts hustling over. Will not be able to get to it in time. It bounces in for a hit. Dansky hustling to second. He's in there safely. Chapman over to third. And the tying run at second with nobody out here in the 9th. Well, that goes to speak just how big that opening play was. A pop-up near short. Genter loses it. And instead of 1 out and a runner at second base, the tying run at second with nobody out here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the number 1 team in the country threatening to tie the score. Harrington will now go to work on the reigning national tournament MVP, Logan McNeely. 1 for 4 today. Carson-Newman was unhappy with a couple of those calls behind the plate. Perhaps could have gotten Dansky, but now Harrington looking to buckle down. The pitch misses low and away, ball 1. Well, Carson-Newman riding the shoulder right now of Hunter Harrington. The Eagles looking to hold this one off. We had a couple tight ball games last night come down to the last hitter. The 1-0. Misses low and inside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Oh, Ryan Smithson, 2 2/3 innings, gives up a hit and a walk. Strikes out a batter. Scoreless effort for him, and the Eagles turn it over to the bullpen. Wingate out hitting Carson-Newman 10-5, but down by 2 here in the 9th. The 2-0. Inside corner with a fastball for a strike, 2-1. Well, Wingate has had opportunities. They have littered the base paths throughout this game. Carson-Newman could never play add-on today. And the 2-1 pitch from Harrington coming. McNeely bounces it back up the middle. That'll get a run in. Genter fields, throws out the runner. And the tying run is now at third base with 1 out. Chapman comes in to score. Dansky over to third. And it's 4-3. And Mitch Ferris coming to the plate. A double his last time up, 1 for 4. And the infield comes in for the Eagles. Ferris, a third-team All-League pick, will get his opportunity. Infield in, bottom of the ninth, tying run at third base and 1 out. Harrington pitches, and he misses up and away on a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes here to Ferris. Harrington gets the sign from Parkinson. The 1-0. Ferris swings and misses on a high heater, 1-1. Wingate has had hits in 7 of the 9 innings. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Ferris pops it up off of third base. It'll get back into the seats. And Harrington gets ahead at 1-2. Well, if Harrington ever had a strikeout in his pocket, this would be a great time to get one. Jed Bryant awaits in the on-deck circle. Carson-Newman clings to a 4-3 lead in the bottom of the ninth with 1 out. The 1-2 from Harrington. Pushed foul by Ferris. Pitch up and off the plate and leveled the bat head out there and got a piece. This inning started on a fly ball that got lost in the sun. Otherwise, there'd be 2 outs, and Dansky would be at third in a 2-run game. The 1-2 pitch. Ferris shoots it down the left field line, foul. 1-2. Well, Harrington is keeping these balls up in the zone. Normally a pitcher that lives down. Can he get it all the way down and get Ferris to chase something out of the zone? Can Ferris tie this one up? The 1-2 pitch. Ferris pops it up. This one's off of third base and will find the seats again. Good battle going here. Harrington not giving in. Ferris doing a good job of spoiling pitches. And how often do you see it where a hitter hangs around in the box and eventually is able to find one into the outfield and tie the game? 1 ball, 2 strikes, tying a run at third here in the bottom of the ninth with 1 out. Harrington coming set. Here's the 1-2. High and away on a fastball, 2-2. Ferris doesn't chase. Well, last year, Wingate was ultra familiar with moments like these. Won 8 elimination games between the conference tournament and the College World Series. The 2-2 pitch. Bounced over the head of Genter and into left field for a base hit. We are tied. Ferris drives in the tying run, and it's a 4-4 game in the ninth. Just a high hopper. Genter had no chance with him pulled in on the grass. And just like that, we are deadlocked at 4 apiece here in the ninth inning. All Genter could do was watch that ball go over his head. And we're tied at 4. And here comes Jed Bryant. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored today. Still just 1 out here in this inning as Wingate looks to walk it off. Harrington coming set. The right-hander throws, and he misses downstairs. 1 ball and no strikes, rather. Well, the woes for Harrington continue. He has now given up a run in 7 of his last 8 outings. And he blows the save here today. 1-0 pitch. Fouled back. 1-1. Carson-Newman has been to extra innings twice in SAC tournament history. They've won both of them. That's what they're hoping for now. Wingate with other plans. Here comes the 1-1 from Harrington. And it's popped up off a first base foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gut-wrenching moment here for the Eagles, but this just goes to show the #1 team in the country will never go quietly. The reigning conference tournament champs and the regular season title holders have pulled level here in the 9th. Step off from Harrington and a low throw to first. Nearly got away from Daughtry. One hopped it over there, and Daughtry did a good job of plucking it. Eagles had a throwing error on a pickoff throw earlier. Harrington again set. Right-hander coming to the plate, and a foul ball hit off first base again. Keeping the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Bryant had the punctuation mark in the tournament championship last year. 2-run home run to take down Newberry. Can he come up clutch here in the bottom of the 9th? 1-2. Just missed in. Parkinson tried to bring it down through the zone. And it just missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stressful inning for Harrington, nearing 30 pitches. Right-hander coming sent out there on the rubber. And the break even. Another foul ball from Bryant, hanging around in the box. Well, you knew that Wingate eventually would be able to take advantage of one of these opportunities. Had runners in scoring position in 3 of the last 5 innings of the game, including the bases loaded and 1 out in the 6th. Didn't get anything across. 2-2 the count. Harrington brings it up there, and it's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Good pitch by Harrington. Eventually wins the duel against Bryant for the 2nd out. And now here comes Andrew McKay. McKay pinch ran in the 8th inning, and he'll get his first swings in the batter's box. Now he's hitting .287 on the season, has a home run and 16 driven in. 4-4. Bottom of the 9th inning, 2 outs, and the winning run at first base. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. Harrington lifts the leg and fires and gets a fastball in the outside corner for strike 1. 31 pitch inning for Harrington. Will that pop-up that Carson-Newman lost in the sun come back to haunt the Eagles? The 0-1. Down the middle with a good breaking ball again, 0-2. Well, Carson-Newman had dialed this thing up perfectly, led by 2 coming into the 9th. You bring in Harrington with a chance to win the game, and 3 hits in the inning. 2 runs to tie it. The 0-2, way up and away, 1-2. Well, should we get to the 10th, it would be Potts, the 9-hole hitter, then Jackson and Genter due up against Broderson. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harrington gets the sign. The pitch. Just missed outside. Nearly had a fastball. Clipped the outer half. Instead, the count evens up at 2-2. Ferris's RBI hit has tied this ball game up. Here's the pitch. There goes the runner. The pitch is in the dirt, and Ferris will take second, and that gets the winning run into scoring position and runs the count full at 3-2. So Harrington needing a strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner at second base representing the winning run. 4 apiece in the 9th. Harrington pitches. Line drive, left center field. That'll do it. It bounces in around third, and coming to the plate is Ferris. He scores, and Wingate scores 3 in the 9th. They come back to beat Carson-Newman. The final score, 5-4. Wingate eventually takes advantage. They score 3 times in the 9th, and that puts a bow on it. The final tally, Wingate 5 and Carson-Newman 4. Eagles will play tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., Wingate at 2:45. We'll take a break, come back with interviews when we come back here to Smoky Stadium in a walk-off win. 5-4, the final score here on the SAC Digital Network. Back with more in a moment.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Wingate wins it in walk-off fashion, a 5-4 victory. We're now joined by Andrew McKay. And Andrew, let's go through that last at bat. You fall into an 0-2 hole, you work it back, and then you get a pitch to hit. What were you looking for in that sequence?
Honestly, over the plate, Carson-Newman did a good job working in and out. I was looking for something over the plate. Didn't really matter the count, and that's what I got.
You had to come off the bench cold as well. How were you able to stay in the game mentally as you came on to pinch run in the 8th inning?
Well, and that comes off the bench. It's a next man up mentality. We know that they can get the job done no matter what it is.
You guys are number 1 in the country for a reason. What does it say about your group that despite being behind 4-2 going into the 9th inning that you guys are able to come back, not only tie the game, but win it in the 9th?
Well, last year we were always the underdog. We were always the team that had to come from behind. Nobody really expected us to do what we did, and it's the same thing this year in our minds. No matter the situation, we're always going to be the one that has to do what we do.
Andrew, thanks so much. Congrats on the win. That is Andrew McKay down there on the field as Wingate gets the victory 5-4 in walk-off fashion. So the victory for Wingate. They will play the loser of the nightcap tonight, Queens and Lenore-Rhine, tomorrow at 2:45. That'll be that ball game. Carson-Newman will play the loser of our next game, Newberry and Catawba, in an elimination game tomorrow. All right, we now bring in the coach of the Wingate Bulldogs, Coach Gregory. Congrats on this victory. What can you say about your team's stick-to-itiveness in this one? You missed some chances a couple times in this game, but eventually came through in the 9th inning to come back and win this one in walk-off fashion.
Yeah, first off, I thought Carson-Newman did a fantastic job. I mean, their guy kept us off balance early. We put some good passes on some balls, but, kind of run at some guys or just maybe missed. They really held us at bay, and then you just kept working. Brody did a fantastic job after the 4-run inning to be able to put zeros back up behind it. The bullpen did a fantastic job, and the bench kind of came through on it. McKay with a huge hit, Chapman with a good start to the inning, and guys just kept working. Man, it says a lot about our group, and they got a lot of grit.
I want to talk about Brody McCullough because a couple defensive miscues in the 3rd inning. He gives up 4 runs, and then he only gives up 2 base runners the rest of the way. What did you see from your right-hander buckling down after that?
Well, that's just kind of how he's always been. He's a big-time competitor, in my opinion. And we tried to force a couple plays there in that 1 inning, and it kind of bit us a little bit. But then he just kind of settled in and just kept attacking the zone, and obviously kept us in the ball game all the way through. So I mean, he's just a really good competitor.
What's this say about your group? What you guys have done over the last calendar year? You had 8 elimination wins last year. That you guys are down to your final 3 outs and come up with a victory here today against the Carson-Newman team that had won a tight game last night.
Yeah, I mean, they just understand you got to play all the innings and you got to play all the outs. The ball game's never over until the final out's recorded, and they've been in some really tough situations and done a fantastic job. They're a loose group, in case you can't tell, and they stay focused all the way through the ball game, and they just find ways to get it done.
Coach, thanks so much. Enjoy this one, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
That's Coach Jeff Gregory down there on the field after the victory for the Wingate Bulldogs. 5-4, the walk-off winner, Andrew McKay, wins it. First pitch for our next game will be 3 o'clock. 2nd-seeded Newberry, 5th-seeded Catawba. We'll have that broadcast for you right here on the SAC Digital Network. We'll talk to you again in about 45 minutes. Wingate wins it 5-4.